It's February 12th, 2025. I am at Joel Pearl or at thejoelpearl.com on Blue Sky. It's time to get in the weeds. Jeremy Lambert is here, and right off the top, let's go through it, Jeremy. Spoilers for tonight's AEW Dynamite.
The big guy loses to the little guy via a kick that wouldn't get him a purple belt in kids karate. Don't change that channel, everybody.
That'll put butts in seats. How you doing, pal?
Oh, I'm here. I'm alive. It's great to be alive on a Wednesday in Ohio.
He has never said that about Ohio, and no one ever has, and you know that.
They were in Cleveland a few weeks ago. Did he cut a promo? No, he faced Sammy. I don't think
he knew better. He knew better. Yep, he was smart. I mean, he's never going to say it in a place where he's lying. Notice how he didn't call it Smashville. Instead, he let the announcers do it. Ruined everything. My parlay busted in the first 10 minutes.
Don't bet on CM Punk. That sounds terrible.
That's true. It seems like every time you try, he just, either crashes out or has an injury. Anyway, happy Wednesday to everyone. It's a wonderful Wednesday. The city of Toronto is about to get basted tonight, overnight.
Basted? Is it a turkey?
It may as well be, because 25 centimeters of snow is headed our way. I don't know what that is for you guys in the States. Was that 12 inches? No. It's almost 12 inches, but it's going to be a lot.
I don't care for your metric system.
Well, I don't care for your imperial bullshit. But anyway, we're gonna get a lot of it. So it's gonna be a lot of snow coming our way. I'm not looking forward to that. I am looking forward to hanging out with y'all for the next couple hours. We'll see who shows up. We've been talking all. We were just like, oh, this wrestler, and then after yesterday's show, I was like, what happened? Well, we'll see who shows up and who doesn't.
We might be joined by a guest at 11:30. We might be joined by a guest at 12. We shall see. Not promoting, not saying anything else.
Maybe more people will show up. Who knows? It's a strange day. I've already challenged Cam Hawkins to show up on the show. So there's always that. I don't even have to do much. I just have to say his name and he appears. He hasn't appeared yet, but 3 times. Janela, no call. No. It's just the way it goes. We'll see. Maybe Joey will show up today. Maybe we'll say his name enough times and Joey Janela will come join us on the show. All right.
Can confirm he's awake. I can confirm that.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that he's awake. I'm glad he's ready. He can show up whenever he wants. Let's get right into it. It's 3 minutes in, so leave a thumbs up on the video if you haven't already. We got lots of content every single day. This show, In the Weeds, 5 days a week, just for y'all. Tuesdays and Thursdays, you got SB3 and Jeremy holding it down. And then Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, Jeremy and I are here. So go ahead, tap into that. And of course, you can subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. What's wrong with you? We got the shorts every day coming. Jeremy has been absolutely on fire with those. When they hit, they hit. When they don't, people will say weird things in the comments. So go ahead and combat them with us, will you? It's just the way it goes.
Of course, it's super funny when they don't, so I don't care.
That's fair. It's not like you pay attention to the comments. That's my job.
Nope. Sometimes I just make them to pop myself, and sometimes they're informative. The last, 3 out of the last 4, just pops, not information at all.
Dun, dun, dun. Woo! I watched that. I was like, what the hell did I miss? And I knew exactly what I missed. Don't need a super chat, by the way. Any amount of information. Yeah. Information comes from you. Just don't need a super chat. Any amount, question, statement, run on the air. We got news to go through. We got Raw to talk about. We got NXT from last night to talk about. And of course, the major event last night, Tony D'Angelo was beat down at the end of the NXT show. Ridge Holland has a family of his own. Izzy Dame, it is what it is now part of that family. It is what it is. Great finish to NXT. You know that the main event is not the main event when they then pitch to a video package hyping the show on Saturday and a teaser for this new group coming in.
I expected the teaser anyway.
Oh yeah.
I expected that anyway. I thought they were going to put the title on Ridge. So the fact that they didn't do that at least cleared my low bar.
Oh, they will. They're going to put that title on Ridge next chance they have.
I don't think so. I feel like Spears is going to win it. Why is Why is Ridge winning? Ridge is kind of out of the picture after last night.
I think Ridge is still part of this picture. I think he's going to go and join the Spears family, and that'll be that. He'll get the title on the first go.
I don't see that. It feels like Spears is winning the title, not Ridge.
I guess we'll see soon. Are you excited for North American champion Shawn Spears?
It's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with Shawn Spears. He's fine. You know.
He's fine. He's fine. He's a gatekeeper. Yeah. I just thought he would gatekeep more of the lower card, not the mid card.
They don't. I mean, SP3 and I were talking about this yesterday, and we've talked about this too. Like, they don't have a ton of high-end male talent in NXT right now. Look, Austin Theory, or not Austin Theory, he's there, but Grayson Waller is burying the top of the main card. I was like telling Obafemi, congratulations, you're the top guy in the worst men's roster in NXT history. You know, sometimes you shouldn't say the quiet part out loud, but Grayson Waller did. It's not super deep with the men's division. So Shawn Spears is a nice guy to have in that spot. He can put over talent. You know what you're getting out of Shawn Spears. This little group it's hopefully going to lead to bigger things for Brooks Jensen. Remember when he like quit and had all those issues and then was off television and he just like did stuff? And Nico Vance. And look, if Shawn Spears winning the North American title off of that is what comes, it's no problem. Tony D'Angelo's held it for a long time, it feels like. And Tony D'Angelo's probably done all that he's going to be able to do with it. I wouldn't mind if Tony D'Angelo actually goes up to kind of not the main roster, but goes up to the main event level, because he's got a win over Oba. So you can at least run that back and do Obafemi and Tony D'Angelo as some type of I don't know if that's a PLE match, but you can do that on some type of NXT special. They run enough of those NXT specials, but you can get another match out of those two. They had good matches. Do another match out of those two, get Oba kind of that win back, and then I don't know what you're doing with Tony D'Angelo after that. His character's kind of probably going to cap where he's at. I like him. He's a good character, but it's probably just going to cap where he's at overall. Like, no, Shawn Spears, he's fine in this spot. I wouldn't have had this close the show, but I guess they didn't have too many other choices.
Yeah, it was the only title match. Like, I'm not going to count the Heritage Cup match because
that shouldn't have closed either.
Yeah, unless you were going to do some big TNA angle, which they weren't, then there was nothing else that they could have done.
I mean, doing Bayley and Cora as the closer could have made sense, but I think a part of it was they got the cage up and then they'd have to take the cage down and kill more time off of that. So that was probably a big reason of why this also closed the show, so you didn't have as much dead time.
Yeah, exactly. It was what it was. It worked. The North American title has been, it's had some sort of emphasis for the last little while. It's been around. It has a legacy. So it should be the main event. But it just so happens that the two guys fighting for it are not exactly the high work rate main event guys that you're used to. So as a result, the match itself in the cage was just kind of ho-hum. And yeah, when it comes down to Tony D'Angelo, I think, again, the character has a ceiling. And I also think that Tony D's work as it stands right now has a ceiling as well. He's very on and off with his quality. Not that this is like an NXT breakdown show, but something I notice about him is that the opportunity is there, but they got to revamp the character and give him something that's a little more, I don't know, realistic, something that people can latch onto beyond the meme of the Don, the Italian mob boss character. It doesn't really hit anymore in WWE.
I think it can. I think they should do more with it. They should kill more people, Joel. Should off more people. Have more people sleep with the fishes. That's what I would do.
Well, I mean, listen, no one's really doing much of that these days. They keep threatening to do it, but then nobody actually does it on any of the shows. Except for TNA. Again, TNA is the only one that when you're done, except Eric Young, but he's already established that he is above Anthem and the title and above everyone else. And he's right. He's absolutely right, because he's the only one who can come back from all this stuff. But in WWE and AEW, yeah, you don't stay that way.
Again, they should do more of the killing. That's all I'm suggesting. More murder. I'm very steadfast in my belief that there should be more murder in wrestling.
Not only that, there should be more Thea Hale, and she hasn't shown up yet. Is she going to be the last piece of the new class for Chase U?
Back in the ring. She was back in the ring over the weekend, working a live event. First match since an August live event. So hopefully we're getting closer.
We're back, baby.
Closer to the GOAT, Thea Hale, returning.
Julia is going to get defeated by Thea Hale. That's really the outcome of this whole thing.
I mean, Thea Hale should be entered into this 4-way match. Stack all 3 of these women.
Stack all 4 of them. Yeah, she'd be the 5th member. And so they got Andre Chase now being courted by Cale Dixon and now Uriah Connors, which is hilarious in so many ways. It'll be it'll be what it is. As long as Thea Hale joins that group and brings them out of obscurity and into the lights. This is another one, just like Tony D, where it's like everyone's behind them, but they have such a ceiling. It's not even funny. I don't know if Thea Hale gets a new package and they move her aside from this, or if she just rejoins the Chase U and we just keep doing it.
She's going to be the leader of Chase U. It's going to be Hale U. She takes it over. She's got to relaunch, it's a new university. Chase U got disbanded. What if it's like Hale Community College? Instead of a university, it's a community college. I feel like that could work.
And that's going to be, is there Chase U versus Hale Community College, like a community thing? Or is this,
no.
There's no Chase U anymore?
No, there's no Chase U. It had to disband. So it's just Hale.
The new class is back.
No, it's Hale CC, Hale Community College, and it can last for 6 seasons in a movie.
Hale U. Give me a Hale U is still the absolute movie title. Then it's when they get their university accreditation. They go from community college to university. I'd be all about it. Van Twinblade sent us a super chat saying, reporting back from yesterday, Love Hurts is a very silly little movie. Is very stilly. I'm hoping it's silly. Only 90 minutes. Kehi Kwan is having a blast. 8 out of 10 movie. I listened to Kehi Kwan on Mark Maron's podcast, and he talked about it. It's a really interesting premise. Love Hurts. Go check it out. Apparently, it's a pretty solid movie. For those who don't know, Kehi Kwan was oh my God, from Indiana Jones, Short Long. The character, Short Long.
Okay.
The Asian character. Yeah. And good stuff. So, yeah.
I hope it's just a 90-minute still frame. It's a very stilly movie.
I hate you. Ryan Adams says, we got Hugger Roxanne, so that's the big news. This was interesting in that it was very poorly done. It was like, well, no, because think about it. It was, why are you trying to help Cora, who, if she wins, almost certainly would get added to this match, and you're upset with Cora Jade, and then Cora Jade gets the win, and Ava makes the 4-way, and now Roxanne's upset, even though she's the reason why this all happened. Like, why would you come down to cost Bayley the match when your opponent is poised to then join the 3-way and make it a 4-way? Like, what was the point of this, Roxanne? What did you think you were going to do?
You know why it was poorly done? Is because the camera missed half of it. They had like the wide shot of her coming out, and that was it. Like, could we not get a better shot of her like doing the hugger entrance and everything? It was poorly shot is what it was. They
should have had at least one Bayley buddy. They should have done the whole thing and like really went into.
That would have kind of gave it away, right? Like if you see
because she would. Well, she was going to do the whole, like the way you would traditionally do it is she does the whole entrance, but then the wrestler in the ring that she's trying to, in this case, Bayley would have had to stand there for a solid like minute looking stupid. And instead, Bayley was like, that's weird. And then she went back to fighting her opponent, Cora Jade. So like from the not making the babyface look stupid standpoint, Bayley did a pretty good job of not looking too stupid. She was confused by the music, which she hasn't used in years. And then she saw Roxanne come. I was like, oh, this idiot. And she still lost the match, but at least there was some sort of like the DDT on the floor led to the finish. It was a very, again, there was no reason to do it other than just to do it.
Do it for the pop. That's all.
That's what we do. Yeah. We're just here for it. They should just dress up some NXT guy in a green suit waving their arms around.
That would have been hilarious.
I would have loved that. They put a bunch of people in morph suits. It's
just Buddy Patrol out here.
Hank and Tank just getting work done. But otherwise, yeah, it's now 4-way at Vengeance Day. This is a show that's happening on Saturday, and there's parts of me that's like, this is a show that's happening on Saturday, and the big news is obviously the 4-way and the new addition to NXT, which we'll talk about in just a minute. Ten Russo saying, if not Bruno Mars in the weekend, who's the next Michael Jackson? Is this a conversation y'all had yesterday?
I don't think so. I mean, we talked about more halftime talk a little bit yesterday, but we definitely didn't talk about the next Michael yesterday.
I don't know, because those are really the two that I would put in that list. I mean, Bruno Mars has problems of his own. The Weeknd is the Weeknd. They're both over the top, ostentatious presentations of music. I can't think of anyone else. If someone else in the chat knows, those are the two I would go for.
Drake.
No. I'm watching people I went to school with trying to defend Drake, trying to be like, Drake didn't start this. It was Kendrick who started them. I'm just like, you just go away. Just go away. Shout out to Dave Pro Wrestling Podcast. Say Drake. Biggest smile you've ever had. Anyway, what else of NXT stands out? Nikita Lyons lost again. I needed a minute for that. I know the big news. I know the big thing. I want to get to it, and I will in 1 second, because there was one more thing that I wanted to point out. Obafemi. Why? What are they? Why? That's really the question. Why? Why A-Town Down Under? I know why. Like, we talked about it. The depth isn't there. Why are we still doing this?
They're just doing the match. I mean, A-Town Down Under are fine to go down there and do the match. It speaks to the lack of depth that they have in NXT. You know, I don't know if they're going to split A-Town Down Under. That's been teased like a year now. It feels like it. I almost wish they just. I know Fraxium are the tag team champions, so you couldn't fully do it. I wish they were just doing a 3-way with Frazier and Axiom and do them teasing some type of tension, which they've done for a year as well. They don't have a ton of depth when it comes to this stuff. So Obafemi beating a couple of main roster guys will look pretty good for him.
Yeah, we'll see. Chat saying Oba needs to double stack pin both guys. I'd be fine with that.
He might.
They keep doing the teasing dissension, and then by the end of it, they're still pals, and then they're not, and it's been very strange. I don't like it. People are wanting to talk about Josh Briggs and Inamura winning that tag match. They got the tag team title match at Vengeance Day against Fraxium, but Briggs and Inamura, they beat Hank and Tank, and Tavion Heights and Miles Bourne, No Quarter Catch Crew. This match was fine, but it was a spot fest. It just felt spot, and like there was no. I don't know. Something was missing from it. Something that I feel should be more authentic in wrestling. It didn't feel that way. People like the match. Great. Good for you. Love it. But yeah, otherwise, Inamura got a lot of heads turned, because this was one of the first times a lot of people are seeing them stateside. My goodness, I can talk. What do you think? Inamura is going to be the next NXT champion?
Probably not. They'll have a good match on Saturday. The Fraxium doesn't really miss on these shows.
It's true.
They're one of the best tag teams in the world for a reason. I think they're going to win. You know, I don't know if you saw the little tease they did with the Hardys that was on socials. Feels like we're going to get that match at some point. And maybe they need to lose the titles to do that match. I don't know. But yeah, I expect it to be a good match on Saturday. You know, Briggs and Inamura kind of showed out last night. That's what last night was. It was just a big old showcase match for them, and then in a way the tag team division as well. And that's what it was. They got the win. Now they're going to move on. They're going to get the title shot on Saturday.
My feeling is you might get Fraxium and the Hardys, but I think the team that takes it from Fraxium is going to be Tyreek and Tyson.
Okay.
While they're with Wesley. And if this is a multi-year partnership, so give it some time. I don't know when, but if you have Tyreek and Tyson win the tag titles, wouldn't be surprised if they either reunite MSK have Wesley go back to being a babyface and then rejoin with Zach Wentz and they win the tag titles, or have the Rascals win the tag titles, being Trey and Wentz. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the way that they go. Tyreek Tyson and then the Rascals beat them somewhere down the line. The Hardys are fine. The Hardys can do the Expedition of Gold. They can do they've won every single tag title that WWE's ever made. And that's okay. But I think that's the way they're going, is down the Tyreek and Tyson path. They're giving them a lot of reps in TNA right now.
Could be right. Now we'll see. They've got teams. They haven't done the best of jobs establishing a lot of these teams, but they've got teams to continue to throw at Fraxium. And Tyson and Tyreek, that's fine. They're doing cool stuff with Wesley in NXT or in TNA right now. So,
and they're the two biggest dudes that they can throw that's not OTM. So I would, they're trying to build something. Like, I think that it's going to be, when Fraxium loses, it's going to be a complete beatdown, just a complete departure from the other matches Fraxium has had. It's going to be two dudes just dominating them and taking the titles, and it'll be a bit of a shocking moment. That's the way I would book it, but we'll see where that goes. Ryan Lambert, I swear to God, I will end you if you say the System wins the NXT tag titles. Having to hear the System's music on a Tuesday night instead of Thursday, that triggered me. That sucked. I hated it. JDC had a match against Lexus King. I love how they're like, these are the new rules of the Heritage Cup, and it's just like, so it's a regular title match now. That's all this is. Why do we have to bring up the card?
They should do it. Like, I need one of these champions to really give themselves an advantage. It should be like, Lexus King should be like, you can't punch me in the face. You punch me in the face, you automatically lose. Give yourself an actual advantage. That's why I hated when they did the House of Black open house challenge, and the challengers got to pick the stipulations. So yeah, pick something that you're guaranteeing yourself a victory. Don't, Julia Hart and somebody else is banned from ringside. No. But yeah, you got to pin me to an 100 count, and I only got to pin you to a 1 count. Good luck, buddy. Do a real advantage here. Lexus King saying you can't tussle my hair, you can't strike me in the face, something like that would fit for him. I think it would work. Although, I guess, is he a babyface? He doesn't know.
Lexus?
Yeah.
They pretty much leaned into him being a heel last week.
Yeah.
Even though JDC is also a heel, so that made this match very confusing for people. But it's just not. They're gonna, if they lean into Lexus King being a heel, then I agree with you. They should absolutely let him do you can't hit my face. I get the first shot and I can kick you in the dick. Whatever it is, he should be able to call.
That.
Yeah, it should be.
I get the first strike of the match.
Yeah.
And you can't hit me in the face. And yeah, his first strike should be a dick kick.
Yeah, that was how he won the damn thing and retained it.
Yeah, that actually rules.
Yes. And then the first wrestler who's smart enough to wear a cup or a steel plate on their nuts, then they get the upper hand and they win. It's pretty straightforward. But instead, they're playing it as just a regular title match. It is what it is. Maybe they'll change it somewhere down the line, and he'll be like, change. He changes it every week. Every week it's a different thing, and blah blah blah. The House of Black Open Challenge that you were talking about, I always saw it as, we're so badass, we don't need a reason to beat you. You're just going to give us you're just going to give us a stronger victory, which typically you can do that with heels, but they weren't that strong. That's the problem with House of Black. They weren't super duper strong.
The problem was all the teams they challenged were stupid, and they should have picked better rules for themselves.
Yes, they should have been, I can beat you with a 1 count.
Yeah.
I got the cops coming after me.
Clearly. What's
going on? I don't know. It's happening downstairs. I'm waiting for them to come to drive up the street here.
Yell out the window and say, "Hey, I'm doing a wrestling show here. Knock it off."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure up on the 17th floor, they're not going to be able to do much about that. Also, the window in this office is this big. It's just one of those tiny crank windows. So I don't know if you get much voice out of there. It's also too cold outside. It's
crank until you're done and then yell out the window, Joel.
Sometimes I crank too hard and it hurts the next morning. Wait, are we doing a Rochambeau match? Well, yes. kind of the point. All right, let's get to the real conversation. Tenruz is saying if Prince George Michael and Michael Jackson could come back, that would be the greatest. Whitney Houston and Coolio as well. Coolio is like the most out there name on this whole list of people you just put out there. Coolio? Also, when did Coolio die?
Not long ago. It was like 2 years ago or something.
Yeah,
right?
I was just thinking like this is fairly recent. For a moment I was gonna be like Coolio's not dead, but I'm like no, he's gone. Still had stuff to do. MJ and K-Dot collab. They could do an AI MJ. Who knows? But you got to get the estate's permission to do that stuff. You just can't throw it out there on a diss track all willy nilly. Doesn't work that way. Coolio, seriously, of all the names.
Why are you a hater of Coolio?
I'm not. It's just of all those names you put up there, I did not expect Coolio to be one of them. So he just trying to think of, I don't know, it's fine. The big news, Ricky Starks, or at least the artist formerly known as Ricky Starks, showed up in NXT.
That guy on NXT.
That guy. You know who he is. He showed up on NXT. So two parts. So surprising, yes. We have a group chat between myself, Jeremy, and SP3, where I'll normally say something like soliciting ideas for the thumbnail. And I had sent out a message about that at about 9:30 last night. And then all of a sudden, down walks Ricky Starks, and I just reply in all caps, never mind. This was, again, it was surprising and not surprising. I think most people expected Ricky Starks to end up in WWE. I can tell you that I would have expected him in NXT, much like I think you also thought he would be.
No, I said they should debut him Raw after Mania. SP3 was very steadfast of NXT, and then he took a victory lap, as he has every right to do.
Okay, well then I agree with SP3. I think it should have been NXT. I think this is the right place for him right now. We can get into that in a minute. In your group chat, do Joel and SP3 only respond on different days? Yes. I still do the thumbnails every day, so who am I? The Ricky Stark stuff was both shocking and not shocking. Timing wise, it was shocking, and I said, of course he would. This is the most iron striking while it's hot opportunity that they have, and this is the place for him to do it. I think this is where right now Ricky Starks will shine the brightest, and Fightful Select had reported as well, when it comes to Ricky Starks, the belief right now is WrestleMania plans are in place, whereas NXT plans are a little more fluid. So he's a bit more plug and play, and you can make plans accordingly with him. I think that's the right spot for him. Right now, I think NXT for a short term is perfect for Ricky Starks. I also think that there are a lot of Ricky Starks fans, but there are also a lot of people who have never seen this man once before in their life, and this is the start of pushing him as someone you should be paying attention to. So I'm curious as to how he gets played up, but they certainly did a good job of introducing him on Tuesday night on NXT.
My Raw after Mania plan is not shot just yet. I will say that. I do think because they got him so quickly that it was the right call to put him in NXT. The way I was thinking about it in my head when we were having the conversation yesterday is I didn't know he was going to come in this quickly. I thought maybe he was going to he still has indie stuff. Like he's the Defy champion. He just won the Defy championship. So I thought he was still going to work some indie dates and everything. And that's why I thought, yeah, Raw after Mania, bring him in. That's a good spot for him. But the fact that they got him one day after he was removed from the AEW roster page, like, yeah, you kind of got to go ahead and capitalize on that. And it makes sense with NXT because as Fightful Select reported, and as is kind of evident as well, you feel like they know what they're doing with WrestleMania. WrestleMania is only 2 months away. Triple H has got the destination. Now the GPS is going to lead him there. But you feel like they know where they're going with WrestleMania and stuff. And there's really not a spot for Ricky in the WrestleMania plans. Again, that's why I said Raw after Mania would make a lot of sense for him. And I still think it does make sense for him to be a call-up Raw after Mania. Until then, probably do good stuff on NXT. If his name is Ricky Starks, his name might friggin' be, I don't know, Dexter Baxley or something. And it came up with that off the top of my head. That's an NXT ass name, right? Dexter Baxley.
Sure.
Maybe too many X's on that.
Sticky Marks.
Nah, you're going too close to, Ricky Starks. Like, I'm going way off the board here.
You're right. I was going TNA names. You're right. Yeah.
I'm going way off the board with Dexter Baxley.
They already had a Dexter. They have a Dexter. They also have 3 Brawns, so who am I kidding?
Yeah, that's fine.
What else could they call him?
There's a bunch.
Rockin' Ricky. Rockin' Ricky is fantastic.
I don't know.
That's the thing. Everyone kept being like, "He's Jameson," and I was sitting there being like, "No, we already know who that is. Like, our show already figured out who most of these people are." Trill London. I was like, "No, Trill London is already a person. He's a Miami Dolphins player. Like, he's got a guy name. He's fine. I don't know what they're gonna do with him. I think, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Zen McQuinn.
Zen McQuinn. Buster Harrington. What is this name? Ricky Maivia. I think that'd be very funny. They call him the final boss. Call him the NXT boss.
Oh, the first boss. He's Ricky Maivia, the first boss.
I don't even know what they're gonna do, but a nice surprise. Again, it's like that mix of surprised and not at all surprised. When the report dropped about the 3 guys, Miro, Malachi, and Ricky being released officially and having no 90-day non-compete clauses, I said, "Oh, they're just going to jump on however many of these, Ricky being the first." To me, it was like as early as Monday, someone's going to show up on Raw, and then they ended up having someone show up on NXT. Do you think one of the other 2 men will show up as early as Friday, or is this a let's wait a little bit type of mentality?
I've said with Malachi, it seems like they're teasing him being Chad Gable's Dark Overlord with the Dark Arts Lucha Libre. So I'm going to continue with that until proven wrong on that one. I know it could just be a teaser. Like it could just be they're using Dark Arts to throw you off of things, and it doesn't lead to Malachi at all. He comes back in some other form or fashion. And with Miro, the dude hasn't wrestled in over a year. He hasn't been on television in over a year. His name hasn't even really been out there in over a year. At least with Malachi, he was still on AEW television doing his goodbye and then saying he wasn't leaving. At least with Ricky, he was making independent scenes and doing some interviews. Miro's gone relatively radio silent. Like, you didn't hear his name at all last year, except for when he and Lana announced that they split. And she was the one who announced that. She was the one who spoke about that. He's gone silent. I'm not expecting Miro to show up anytime soon because I just don't know if that's what he wants to do anymore. If he does show up, whether NXT or main roster, it'll be a nice surprise, but I'm not going to try to fantasy book a guy who has done nothing in wrestling for over a year and has distanced himself from the public eye for over a year.
He should just show up in TNA, and then Matthew Raywell should get up from the desk and sing Rusev Day, but Miro Day, whatever they do. I guess they could call him Rusev Day because of the partnership, but I don't know. Miro shoot showing up on main event. I think that would be hilarious just for all the wrong reasons. But you're right. He has not been in the public eye for about a year. And it's not like he's been Twitch streaming. That was his thing for a while. He's just kind of not there. He goes back and forth between his home in the States and Bulgaria. And that's sure. Okay. I don't know. He's the one that is very much a question mark. Meanwhile, with Malachi, it's almost inevitable. Big Triple H guy. He was on a path at one point. I don't know if they're going to get the same Malachi though if he comes back to WWE that he was, 4 years ago. That's my other concern. He's a different caliber athlete right now. He hasn't exactly been putting on 5-star bangers. Not that he was in WWE, but he's at a different point of his career than he was 5 years ago. So I'm curious as to if and when he shows up in WWE, is he going to be expected to perform to that level? Or is he going to be used more as a character to further other angles, a la Karrion Kross? Kross, we talk about, is like, he's fine, he's serviceable in the ring, but right now his biggest strong point is his presentation on the microphone and backstage as an actor. He's been doing a lot of that really well. Do you do the same thing with Malachi, maybe on SmackDown instead of Raw, and then maybe the two link up, whether they're friends, foes, whatever it is? I don't know. And I don't know what the expectation is of Malachi as a performer when he makes his return, if he does.
Okay, let's talk about Ricky. We know Ricky is there. I don't care about fantasy booking Miro and Malachi. Wow. We know Ricky is there. For people asking about the trademark, Ricky has the trademarks. He registered those under an LLC that he has. So he has the trademarks of Ricky Starks and of Absolute as well. So I don't think, unless they're dealing with him on the trademarks, but I don't know why he would want to be like, yeah, I don't use this name that everyone knows me by. So it's not some type of AEW issue where they can't use the trademark. So why isn't he going by Ricky Starks? Don't know. There's definitely something to it. I know Fightful Select had the report. Certainly they didn't mention his name. They didn't mention his name on the social media. You go to the YouTube video, they have no issue putting it out there on YouTube because it's good SEO that Ricky Starks' name is in all this. The YouTube is the NXT debut that shocked the world. And the description is a new competitor arrives in NXT and promises to turn NXT upside down. Not a single Ricky Starks reference on the YouTube video. So there's something to he using the name Ricky Starks. Yes. Why? Not sure yet. Will he? We shall see.
My general feeling is if he owns the name and he owns Absolute, it's possible that the deal was done so quickly that they just weren't ready yet. They hadn't hammered out the name use yet, or they're debating whether they want to use the name, if it's worthwhile to them, if it's valuable to them. I'm not saying it's not or that it is. I know people in the chat will think that it is, and that's fine. That's, again, it's whether or not his name has enough cachet that it's worth investing in the name versus creating a new one, starting it fresh, and going from there. This is, you know what? Here's the closest thing I can think of. Daniel Bryan versus Bryan Danielson, right? He came in, he was Daniel Bryan. He was known from the indies. They changed his name in a certain way. You could be doing the same thing here with Ricky Starks, where Sticky Rocks. I'm just making a joke.
Rick Stark?
Rick Stark. But that's the point. Is like how much investment do they have in paying for that name or licensing that name versus owning their own name that they also can use as the character and so on and so forth. Like, it's both options are on the table, and it comes down to what WWE and Ricky deem appropriate for his presentation.
It's very possible that the things were done so quickly that they decided, let's just wait and hold off on that until we do have the finer details kind of worked out there. But zero reference. Felt like there should have been some.
So reference. Maybe they were also trying, and again, this is kind of my armchair, I don't know, booking, not even booking, just ideas. When Scott Hall debuted in WCW, he didn't come in as Razor Ramon. He didn't come in as Scott Hall. He literally came in as, you know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here. If Ricky was trying to do something like that without being an invasion, it's more that you know who I am, now I'm here. If that's what they're trying to do, then you could do that. CW, according to Luis, they named Ricky Starks. And that's the difference between like what your broadcast partner knows and what WWE knows. It's very possible that by afternoon, if WWE catches wind of it, they reach out to CW and say, hey, we don't own the name, so maybe just for now, and we'll get, change it later. So it's also another idea.
Yeah, CW doing that, they're doing that of their own volition. They ain't doing that because WWE said it. I mean, I don't. Where are you seeing this, Louis? Because maybe they did right afterwards, but I'm telling you right now on CW Network YouTube, Their headline is a surprise appearance on WWE NXT, and the description is a new superstar arrives to make his presence known to the crowd at WWE NXT. Again, no reference of Ricky Starks. So maybe they did when it first got uploaded, but they've course corrected that at this point.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look. I don't see anyone else mentioning it from CW, or at least on their YouTube. Why did I just do C/W? Was it CW Anderson? What's wrong with me? Yeah, nothing here is saying that's Ricky Starks on an official level. So there it is. Anyway.
Yeah, people are saying it was Ricky when they first uploaded. Like I believe you guys. For right now, this is what they have up there. So yeah, that was probably a conversation where somebody in WWE reached out to them and said, "Hey, change this."
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so people are saying that maybe it happened. It was on the CW Twitter. So let's take a look real quick, because we like to have our I's dotted and our T's crossed. Putting my phone to do not disturb for the next 2 hours at the CW. That was 15 hours ago. I don't see anything else other than their promotional stuff for NXT. Who knows? It's all there. It's all there. But it's nice to see Ricky immediately show up somewhere. Dude wants to work. You mentioned the hilariousness of Defy having the world championship on Ricky. And I immediately said, when that report came out, I was the CW Sports account. I immediately said, all eyes in the smart wrestling world are on the Defy World Championship. And now that Ricky's there, and the next Defy show is scheduled to be at the Collective weekend in Vegas. Who knows if Ricky's on the stand and deliver card? I think smart money would indicate he is on the stand and deliver card, some sort of standout match. But does Ricky drop the title at Defy, or does he vacate the title and not wrestle? That's the other big question. What's the plan? Is there a plan? I would love to Defy to have just been like, oh, oops. I think that would have been hilarious.
So CW Sports does have a tweet up that just says Ricky Starks on NXT, all caps, exclamation point. So see the CW Sports account, which is probably the third party of the third party who runs this stuff.
12,000 followers. Yeah, they're not exactly
they did name Ricky Starks. As far as Ricky and Defy, they're going to do some triple threat match where he doesn't get pinned, and that's going to be that. Like that's how I see it playing out. Truthfully, like they just do, or maybe he loses to a WWE ID talent, and
someone had mentioned that. I don't think they're going to go that far.
I don't think he's going to lose to. I mean, he beat Kenta for it. WWE is kind of particular about these losses. The Carl Anderson is kind of the exception when he dropped the title. Usually, though, it's you ain't dropping these titles. You don't lose a ton of these matches, especially a new talent who they kind of got big plans for. So it's probably going to be a triple threat match, and he won't take the L.
Just put the title back on Kenta. I like Ken's idea. The very beginning of the next Defy event, video montage, Kenta wakes up and says, oh, what a nightmare. And he still has the title. He's got the title around his waist as he wakes up. That's it. And then the Ricky Starks thing was all a dream. I had a theory that when Ricky was given his departure, his release officially, that he would do the GCW events that he had originally planned to do. That he would, try and do just a couple of things before showing up in NXT as a big surprise. But instead, again, he strike while the iron's hot. So just jump right into it. There's good reason for it. It was just it was a big surprise.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought he was going to do some independent dates. And again, I would have debuted him Raw after Mania. This also worked. Him showing up on NXT. Like he immediately slots in as a main event guy. Whether or not they use him as a main event guy, we shall see. They got to do Oba against Waller in theory this weekend. I assume Oba is going to win that and continue. I don't know if they want to do Ricky and Oba immediately. I think there's something to a Ricky and Trick Williams feud. I think there's something to Ricky and Ethan Page, or Ricky and Javon Evans. I think there's something there. I don't know if they want, like, I don't know if he's long term in NXT or if it will be a thing after Stand and Deliver, after Mania. He ends up on the main roster, so you're not going to invest in him as sort of a long term NXT champion. I think if he's going to be there for the rest of the year, at some point he's got to win the NXT title. I just don't know if he's going to be there for the rest of the year or if he should be there for the rest of the year.
I think Ricky will lose to Trick Williams at Roadblock to cement Trick going to Stand and Deliver to take on Obafemi. I think that's the way they do it. Because normally when a new talent comes in, they give them a big shot. They lose that first shot. Julia, the most recent of that. Stephanie Becker is another one where they don't always win on the first try. Then they win on like the second or third. I think they'll do that with Ricky, and it's also their way of like, it's their little test. You know, how are you going to react to losing your first big match? They'll give Ricky some enhancement squashes, and then they'll do the Trick match because it'll be, you know, Trick uses that as a statement victory to get to Oba, and we're off to the races for Stand and Deliver. And then meanwhile, you can have Ricky Starks going up against someone like Ethan Page or Javon Evans or someone else that they deem appropriate for that, or he's going after the North American Championship. Who knows what they really see for Ricky right out of the gate, if they want to establish him as like firm top of the main card, or they want to make him top of the mid card, or who knows what else. Maybe they do want to get him up to main roster as soon as possible. It's completely up to the booking and how he does with the fans. First night in, definitely went well. I think people are very excited to see him.
They got to give him a name first and foremost.
Well, I mean, this is a really funny one. Like Ryan Adams had asked, is there any chance that they're waiting because they're going to change Zoe Starks' name? Just let them be related.
Well, it's just Zoe Stark, right?
So I'll have to just change it. Now she's Zoe Starks. They're not. Is it too similar? I think in the old regime it would have been that they changed the name because of it, but I don't think they're going to change it because of Zoe.
They're just going to name her Zoe. They're going to drop the Starks. It's just going to be Zoe for now.
They got to do something with Zoe Stark now because they just, got rid of the leader of whatever faction she was a part of. So
I feel like you backwards said that they have to do something with her now because they got rid of the leader. I feel like
they do.
You've corrected yourself of they're probably not going to do a ton with her now because they got rid of the leader.
They'll repackage her and do something. They like her. They like Zoe Stark. I like Zoe Stark. She's fine.
I do too. I just don't know if they see any type of plans for her. I think if they did, because it was like letting go of Sonya, not renewing her contract was a weird decision anyway, because they kind of got like a moment in the Rumble. Like there were little threads all throughout the women's Rumble, and one of them was the Pure Fusion Collective, like all out there together and then dominating, and then the standoff with the Legend. Like there was a little moment there with the Pure Fusion Collective, and now like there's going to be no follow up to that because, well, Sonya's not going to be back, at least it seems. So I don't know if they do have any type of plan for Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler.
Zoe was on Main Event this week. She may have been.
Okay.
Good for her. Let's get a couple more super chats. Ryan Lambert says, Ricky revives Chase U as Stroke Daddy U. I mean,
I'm for that.
As long as Thea Hale is in there, I don't care.
Dude, a Ricky Starks Thea Hale interaction.
Oh my God. Sentient Cocaine meeting Ricky Starks, Mr. Cool. Let's go. Let's watch that one. Ten Russo sent some super chats. Here's the first one. First, big whoop. Ricky's going to be a cog on the wheel there in WWE. We'll see in a year or two him being Carmelo'd the way Fed treats their minority talent. I can't speak to the last part. What I can speak to is that they have an expectation with Ricky. Ricky has friends who are high up who will stand for him. I don't know. I'm not going to compare him to other black talent, but I am going to say that there is a certain amount of respect and expectation for him. So again, your feeling is valid, Tenruza. I just I'm not going to be the one to speak on how WWE will treat black talent because I don't have that experience right now.
Yeah, I'm with you. And as far as the Carmelo Hayes comparison goes, like Carmelo's doing okay. I don't think that it's a full-on knock on Carmelo of where he is at. Like where's your expectation for Carmelo? Carmelo did very well, by the way, in NXT. So if he gets Carmelo treatment in NXT, he'd be doing good. Main roster, it took him a little while to find his footing, but he's getting consistent television time. He's getting consistent matches. That's more than you can say for a lot of people on the roster. So I don't think there is a bad thing if it's, he's going to get the Carmelo Hayes treatment. I know people, maybe you want more for Carmelo Hayes. That's perfectly reasonable. But I think we also got to understand that being on TV consistently is a good thing when there are so many people who are not on TV consistently.
Yeah. There's also, again, it's your United States champion on SmackDown is relegated to being in the background of a bunch of segments. Melo's at least front and center, talking, wrestling, doing stuff. Do I think that they can do more with Melo? Sure. It's also his first year up on main roster, and I'd rather them start him low and have him build from there. Have him, take him on a ride, take him on a character progression. Not everyone was watching NXT, especially when he was there. Let me tell you, now's the opportunity for them to build on his character and see what works and see what looks good for Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, okay. That's where I'm at. Like you mentioned Shinsuke. Would you rather be Shinsuke or Carmelo right now? Like, who do you think is in a better spot? I understand Shinsuke has the United States title, but is he television-wise in a better spot than Carmelo? Would you rather be Bayley or Lyra? Who's in a better spot? I know maybe the comparison doesn't quite work because Bayley literally just beat Lyra, so maybe you're like, well, I'd rather be the person who just won. But like, who's in a better spot right now? Okay, guys, everybody's saying neither. Fine, neither.
Yeah, when everyone sucks and you're never gonna win.
I'd rather be Shinsuke because not wrestling and making more money absolutely rules. So yes, that's where I'd rather be.
Paint your face once a month and come to work with your belt. Allegedly, according to WrestleVote's Backstage Pass, there's talk of having Nakamura defend the U.S. title at the Elimination Chamber event. So I would even just have him do it on the SmackDown before because they are in Toronto. Just make it a 2-night, big event type of feel.
SP3 is going to get mad at you over that.
Oh, did you guys do the whole WrestleMania Monday, WrestleMania Friday conversation?
No, it's because Rhea is facing Io on the Raw after Elimination Chamber, and SP3 was like, shouldn't this be on Elimination Chamber? Like, well, yeah, but what if Chelsea Green and Nikki Bella is on the Elimination Chamber card? Like, I'm just waiting to see what the rest of the Elimination Chamber card looks like before I'm like, yeah, you probably should have put Io and Rhea on the show.
The shows are all valued the same now. Like,
I said that as well.
Yeah, if you're paying for Netflix, for example, in Canada, it's like it's $8. You can get the cheapest tier and still get all the same stuff as the person who pays the $20 tier in terms of WWE programming. And then you get everything. You're getting the PLEs, you're getting the shows. Like, everything's just the same. The only difference is what night it's on. So certain events, yes, you need to have those bigger cards. WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble, like you need to have those kill-ass cards. But then when you get to like Elimination Chamber, the chambers are the reason you're watching. Hell in a Cell, not the pay-per-view, but the match itself. That's the reason you're watching the show. So I leave it at that. It's the shows are all the same now. They're all valued to a certain standard of similarity.
And they stack the PLEs with Elimination Chamber. You got the 2 chamber matches. You're getting Cena. You're getting Punk. You're probably getting Seth. You're getting Drew. You've got the women's chamber that already has Alexa, Liv, and Bianca. All 3 have been at the top of the women's food chain for a very long time. And Alexa's been off, but when she was there, she was always heavily featured. Like, that's what they're using to sell out this stadium. I don't know if Rhea and Io makes a difference for that stadium show, but it does make a difference to get fans into that Raw show. But look, if they put nothing, like if they put a Shinsuke match on over Rhea and Io, then I'm with SP3 of like, yeah, you probably should have put Rhea and Io on this pay-per-view instead of Shinsuke and whoever, because they ain't really built anything with Shinsuke. It would just feel like here's a title match for Shinsuke. I still think we're getting Cody and Solo at this show. I think Cody wants that entrance. I think Cody wants to wrestle at this venue. And it seems like Solo is, for some reason, the guy he's going to wrestle.
Big baseball fan, Cody Rhodes. I want to work every single Major League Baseball stadium ever. Just
he wants to wrestle at Skydome. Like, you just know it.
I haven't heard him talk about it. It'd be funny to hear him say it though, just because it's Toronto. It's what is Toronto got really?
What is Cody's favorite match of all time?
Hogan and Warrior?
No.
Oh, what was it?
What is Cody? Okay, well, I listened to enough Cody interviews.
Yeah, I was going to say you're going to know, and I can't off the top of my head pull it out of there.
Cody Rhodes, his favorite match.
Rock Hogan, is it?
What? Yeah,
Rock Hogan. It is Rock Hogan. Oh my God.
He absolutely loves Rock and Hogan. That's why I think he wants to do this match, some match at Skydome. He calls it, I don't know if he's called it his favorite match or he's called it like the best match ever, but he references Rock Hogan all the time because he just talks about like, that's a match. You don't have to watch it. Just listen to the crowd. That's all you got to do. Just listen to the crowd. This is why it's the best match ever. Because if you don't know anything about pro wrestling, you listen to that crowd, you get everything about pro wrestling. Listen to enough Cody interviews. This is what he friggin' says. So I think that's why he wants to wrestle at Skydome, because he wants to experience the Rock Hogan experience.
In 2018, he said the best match ever is Hogan Rock. When I ask my friends their all-time favorite, if they say anything else, I can determine they haven't grasped what wrestling is yet.
Thank you.
That is a tweet from 2018 from Cody.
That's a tweet from 2018. That's a line from so many damn interviews that I have listened to when he is asked about his favorite matches.
That is definitely a feeling. I don't know what he expects. Again, if he wants to have the same idea of a match that Hogan and Rock had at 18 at the Skydome, I don't think Solo Sikoa is the guy you're going to get it out of.
I don't think he can't do a Rock Hogan unless they run him and Roman at this show, which they're not going to do.
Let's go. Pull him out of just do it. Why not? Just sell 60,000 tickets right like that.
I don't think he has any grand illusions of, I'm going to have my own Rock Hogan moment at this show. I think he knows, especially because it's Elimination Chamber, and the Elimination Chamber is going to be the overshadow thing, and WrestleMania is a month away at that point, a month and a half, I guess. Like, I think he knows he's not going to get some like epic on the level of Rock Hogan. I think for him, it is about, I wrestled at the same venue where my favorite match took place. I got to experience the crowd that Rock and Hogan experienced. I don't think he cares who he wrestles. He just wants that moment, that experience. And I think he's going to get it. That's why I'm very steadfast in believing Cody's going to wrestle on this show. I think it's happening.
He should just sit up in the press box. It's a nice area. Put him up in the radio row. It's up in the 500s behind the home plate. Beautiful place to sit. You got a lot of sight line there from the field. It's a great spot. He's plunked down $10,000 and maybe they'll give you a tour of the facility sometime. Let's hit a couple more super chats. Tenders is saying Miro Malachi getting paid good money, more than teachers, to change the industry. But they're going to be stubborn and think head wrestler because of FOMO. I mean, if they want to work, they're going to work. Malachi is whatever. Miro, the whole thing about him asking for his release and getting radio silence, like I'm sure there's more to that story that'll come out whenever everyone talks about it. But with Malachi, it's been very painfully clear for a long time that him and AEW were not the fit, especially when Triple H came back to power and it was very clear that he was interested in going back. He wasn't working.
I think that is sort of it. So Tenruza mentions the FOMO, and I do think like some of these wrestlers have the FOMO of WWE right now, because I don't know if you've heard this, Joel. In case you've been living under a rock,
I have.
WWE is on fire right now. Like I think some wrestlers kind of do have that of like, wait a second, they're on Netflix, they're doing 13,000 weekly for these shows. They're doing stadium shows for Elimination Chamber. They're doing stadium shows for Rumble. Like you'd be foolish to think if like wrestlers don't think about this stuff and don't want to be part of that on some level. And AEW is doing better recently, but there's still something to be said of they're doing 2 to 3 a week. And the pay-per-views are doing 13, but again, WWE's weekly doing 13. The platforms are much different as well. WWE's on bigger platforms. So yeah, wrestlers probably are thinking a lot about that. And especially if you're Miro and Malachi, who were there and went through the NXT with Triple H and have, by all accounts, have a good rapport with Triple H. Certainly Malachi did when he was there. I don't know what Miro's relationship was like with Triple H. And there probably is something of, I want to be part of that.
I want to, chat's kind of pushing back, and I want to, can I do story time for a quick second?
Story time with Joel Pearl, baby.
Hey, that's right. Put your fingers up. And anyway, I'm not as tan as Adam Cole. Maybe come summertime. Anyway, when I was working in music full time, first of all, the difference between playing in front of 5 people and playing in front of 500, 5,000 people is a very different rush and a very different kind of mindset. Sometimes playing in front of 5 people, you let loose, you do things a little differently, you don't care as much. Suddenly you get in front of 5,000. Well, now it's a real job. Not that it wasn't before, but now it matters a lot more and you take things a little more seriously. That's my feeling. Other people who might be in my position have said, I take the job seriously 100% of the time. Other people have said that the 5,000, I can be just as goofy. If anything, I can be more projectively goofy because it doesn't matter what I'm doing as long as I'm entertaining. For a lot of these people, it's about the experience. For a lot of these people, it's about the money. For a lot of these people, it's about the opportunity. We don't know what is going to be the most important thing that drives the performer. In my case, if I'm offered to work with a band that is brand new and is just starting out and there's no money, but it has potential, I don't think I'm at a stage in my life where I want to do that. 20 years ago, I probably would have been like, yeah, let's do it. We'll go to the moon. Got those goals. Today, someone asked me, hey, you want to join my band? We've been up and running 25 years. We're touring consistently. We have guarantees. We have a rider. We get, a bus when we tour. We get, chauffeured, whatever. We get treated well for the job and we get paid for the shows. Yeah, I'd consider that. If the money is right, the opportunity's there, and we're playing big events, playing big stages. Yeah, because I'm at a point in my life where I've paid a lot of those dues. I've done my 10,000 hours. I would like to enjoy the fruits of my labor. Some wrestlers want to build something. Some wrestlers want to enjoy the fruits of their labor. It all comes down to their own goals, their aspirations, and where they are in their careers. It very well could have been that everyone who came in 2021 to AEW saw where it was going, and they saw, we're going to go and we are going to take this to the moon, and we're going to fill the stadiums, and we're going to have huge events, big numbers, big money. And then the rose came off the bloom. And that was it. Whether that was, whether that was creative, whether that was CM Punk and everything that happened there, whether it was something else that happened that isn't talked about, maybe that just kind of took it away and they realized, oh, well, I see the other companies getting hotter. Maybe there is FOMO from that because they've been in it for 20 plus years. You can't assume what drives a wrestler to stay or leave from their job. You just got to go where you're suited. Pile driver finisher saying, I don't know how you're wrong, but I'm going to figure it out. Basically wants it towards Creed. Here's the thing. If Creed or Nickelback, pick your least favorite band. I don't care. If one of those bands were to be like, hey, Joel, you want to work with me? Or you want to come on tour with us and be our new bassist? I'd be like, hell yes, I do. Because the money and the opportunity, and like there are bands that have individual buses for their members. There are bands that fly on planes everywhere. Iron Maiden, I'm looking at you, where your singer also moonlights as the pilot. There's opportunity there. No, actually, you know what? I would draw the line of Kid Rock. D. Eddie's very right about that. I would not. I do have morals, but not everyone does. Some people will. Believe me, I've had people who do things for people that I do not like, and I'm just like, I don't know how you do it, but all the power to you. Make your money. Do what you do. Everyone's different. Creed would absolutely welcome me with arms wide open.
Can you sing a Nickelback or a Creed song? What if they wanted you to be the lead singer, Joel? Could you do that?
I can sing like that. It's just nasally bullshit. Like Scott Stapp.
Can you sing a Creed song? We can make this the Dynamite intro for the week too.
I'm joined Trapped. They have one song, and not even that would make me join them.
They did the Headstrong, right? Step back, I take you on. Yep. Headstrong to take on anything. I can't do like a screamy voice.
Tenders is saying, should wrestlers not know or care about the industry? In what context? A lot of them know, because a lot of them have gone through whatever training has brought them to this point. What should they not know or care about, according to you, that you know about or know better than them? That's not a shot, Tenders. I'm curious. Like, what's the context here? If it's about what WWE is dealing with right now in terms of a lawsuit and sex trafficking allegations, then that's entirely up to the talent to view their workplace and how they interact with it. For some people, it's a job. I come to work. I'm an independent contractor. Come to work, I go home, and I get paid. Good enough for me. Not everyone feels that way.
Wrestlers should only care about themselves.
Yes, they do not get enough. They don't get enough out of this shit. Most athletes are the same way. They get spit up, they get chewed up, and yeah, they make a lot of money in a short amount of time. But a lot of the time, their health doesn't facilitate their ability to enjoy it.
If a wrestler is happy because he's on television and he's making good money, wherever that might be, more power to him. If he's happy sitting at home but still making a lot of money, more power to him. If he's happy making less money but he's on television, more power to him. Like, whatever it might be, go get your money and go do what makes you happy when it comes to this stuff. AEW is not dying just because certain people are going to leave. And I don't think, should Malachi be a game changer? Miro, Ricky, they weren't being used. They were not being used. So I don't think they were going to be these game changers. Could they have been? Maybe. I certainly thought there was more to do with Ricky Starks. You can say what you want. If you don't buy him as a main eventer, if you didn't see him on that level, fine. We got different opinions on different wrestlers. There's certain wrestlers I probably see as main eventers that you don't. There are probably people that you see that I don't. But when Ricky Starks was given an opportunity, typically he did very well with that opportunity. The MJF stuff, thought was good. The Bryan Danielson stuff, thought was great. CM Punk, before things went off the rails there, that was very good. Then there wasn't a whole lot of follow-up to that kind of stuff. Is that his fault? Is that AEW's fault? Maybe one day the truth will be told. The revolution will be televised. But all right, and then with Malachi and Miro, again, Miro hasn't been on television for a year. So I don't know what the deal is with that. Malachi, he came in, he did stuff with Cody, and then the House of Black stuff wasn't for me. It was never going to be for me. I always thought there was more equity in Brody King and then into Buddy Matthews, and Julia Hart was this big breakout out of that. Could they have done more with him? Could he have been at a better position, could have won like the TNT title or something. Maybe. Like, you can always do more with certain people. But maybe Malachi might be the way some people view Ricky, is they might see him as a main event guy where I didn't, where I see Ricky as a main event guy and they don't. So, but yeah, I don't know the motivations of these people. I'm not going to speculate on the motivations of these people. As long as they're happy, good for them. Fair. Yeah. Factual.
Yeah.
Factual.
It's Edge's fault. Always Edge's fault. Good on you for knowing. Good on you for knowing. Let's hit a couple more super chats and then we'll move on. Timbers is saying also want some good shit. New Japan Pro Wrestling New Beginning. It's coming.
It's good.
It's coming. It's gonna be a good show. It already happened. I know.
What are you talking? We reviewed this show yesterday.
I don't watch it. It's fine. I don't watch this show when I'm not on it.
Jesus.
It's coming. It's coming. I promise. Ryan Lambert saying Aleister Black returns as a bodyguard for Chelsea Green.
That'd actually be a good bit.
Do you think she'd call it the House of Green?
Oh, she should.
She should.
Was her podcast Green with Envy?
Yes.
Yeah. Should have a podcast.
That'd be fantastic. I'd love to see that. Bring back the House of Green. Let them honor the House of Green. You were mentioning people who are making money. Someone who's not making the money they thought they were. Elias, aka Elijah, is not signed to AEW or ROH. There was some reporting elsewhere that after he had posted a video of himself walking with the Righteous, that Elijah, the former Elias, was signed to Ring of Honor in AEW.
That rolled.
However, that's not the case. While he was on the Jericho cruise, he did face AEW talent Tommy Billington, but he's not working for them. In fact, TNA has interest in Elias and Elijah. Can I tell you right away that when he posted that video and like 2-3 days later, both AEW and ROH socials did not interact with it in any way, shape, or form, that I was pretty sure that he was not on any sort of deal with them and that he just kind of did it. If anything, I figured it was more of a maybe the Righteous were moving on or that they were going to do indie bookings as a trio. It never struck me for a minute that Ring of Honor or AEW was bringing on Elijah. It was just a thing that happened.
It absolutely rules that they did this and then worked. The Observer reported it, that they worked the Observer into, yeah, he's signed. Like, I don't know if somebody told Dave that or what happened there. No idea. But absolutely hilarious that they posted the video and it got out there or got reported that he was signed. Yeah, maybe they'll sign him. Maybe they won't. Maybe the Righteous are moving on. To me, when they posted it, I was just like, oh, they're just fucking around on social media. That's all I thought about it. I didn't think it meant Elijah was signed, because if he was, they probably would have aired this on Honor Club. And they didn't air it on Honor Club. So I'm just like, okay, well, they're just screwing around on socials. Good for them. Hilarious.
It's like John Cena posting things on Instagram and people picking it up and dissecting it. It doesn't mean anything.
What's John Cena's latest Instagram post? Let's
take a look.
Let's report some stuff based on John Cena's Instagram posts.
All right. It's two bunnies hugging. That is from 4 hours ago.
He posted a very old photo of the Big Show, basketball photo.
Oh, yes, he did.
John Cena to AEW to compete in a basketball game against the Big Show.
Does he know that Paul White's going to be at the NBA All-Star game? Is that what he's reporting?
Oh.
Does he know? What about this Peacemaker one? Is he?
Well, he is Peacemaker.
Is John Cena going to be in the Peacemaker show? Is that what's happening? Oh my God.
That's already. I like the Austin memes that he posts.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Stone Cold start the Rumble.
He's got Stone Cold Sydney Sweeney. John Cena dating Sydney Sweeney.
I mean, he's married. That would be probably a problem. I mean, who knows? Stone Cold SoundCloud. Didn't he do a Ricky Starks one?
What a troll this man is.
Stone Cold Shohei Ohtani. He's such a good, yeah. He just posts shit. He's posted this bunny thing before, kind of. The two bunnies in bed.
Does John Cena do cocaine in the bathroom? Because he posts a picture of a sign that says, please don't do coke in the bathroom.
And also today's soup, whiskey with Irish croutons.
Ah, that sounds good.
He's just out here. He posted a Super Mario Kart box.
Was John Cena shipping delayed because he posted a photo of FedEx, UPS, and USPS trucks all jammed up? John Cena's package did not arrive on time. John Cena makes political statement on our U.S. postal system.
If Cena doesn't enter the Rumble dressed as Peacemaker, I personally will be mildly disappointed.
Well, that person was mildly disappointed.
That person was mildly disappointed. I'm just saying, this man, he posts everything, but also nothing. The Superman dog dish.
John Cena got a dog and named it Superman or Clark Kent or Christopher Reeves.
Clark Kent is exactly what he would call it.
What if he named his dog Christopher Reeves?
No comment. A 1969 Honda S800 Roadster. Like, what is this about? Did he buy it? It was for $91,000 it sold? Did he buy it?
Maybe.
Is he a shill for Honda this week?
Rules. Doesn't he already do Honda commercials?
He does. All I remember is the time when he did a commercial for a one car company, and he became the source of. It became a problem because he gave the car away that they gave to him. Wasn't that was John Cena gives away a car? Yeah, it was the Ford.
Oh,
he resold his Ford GT, which Ford claimed was a breach of contract because he flipped it. No, it was okay. Yeah, that was he flipped a 2017 Ford GT supercar. Good for John trying to make a buck off of his work. Oh man. Anyway, John Cena's just a character. Just a guy.
The best.
Is he gonna win the Elimination Chamber?
Dennis Reynolds doesn't understand my joke of calling him Christopher Reeves.
Okay. You'd think of all people, Dennis Reynolds would understand the joke.
You'd think, but I'm going to call him Christopher Reeves until I'm dead. It's always going to be Christopher Reeves.
Fair. So who's going to win the Elimination Chamber? John Cena or CM Punk?
Oh, thanks for joining us, Dennis Reynolds. You've stumbled onto some nonsense here. Or maybe you've made like Christopher Reeves and rolled up onto some nonsense here.
Jesus Christ. Why did that get me so much? Oh God. Well, at least chat also liked it. All right.
Graves gets the reference. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. John Cena winning the chamber, or is CM Punk going to win the chamber? Or is someone else going to win the chamber and shock all of us, just like Jey Uso winning the Rumble?
Logan Paul is going to win the chamber.
Sounds awful. Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. My God.
Did I get canceled off of that?
Well, according to Ken Bruno, you did, and now I have to work 5 days a week thanks to you.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah, I know. Good luck working with SB3. I get it.
Good luck getting you to work That's 3 days, much less 5.
Yeah. By the way, I'm not going to be here on Friday. I'm just kidding. That would have been fantastic.
It's an Eminem joke, everybody.
Joke kick like a horse. Oh.
That's a kick. Horses kick hard, man. You ever been kicked by one of them bitches?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, I have.
There's no way in hell that I would do that.
My friend used to run a horse farm, right? And I like how people are still saying Reeves. It is Christopher Reeve, everybody. But like, I think everyone, because of Eminem, still calls him Christopher Reeves. Because like, even in the new album, he calls him Christopher Reeves. And then they had to do the interview of like, it's Christopher Reeve, right? He's like, I don't give a fuck what his name is. He was Superman.
As long as Jimmy never finds out about this show, we're perfectly okay.
Yeah,
don't worry. Don't worry.
So anyway, I was working on a horse farm with my friend. She used to ride horses for a living. Those little bitches are stingy, man. And they kick you, that shit hurts. I got kicked in the leg by one. Oh, sucked. Absolutely sucked.
Glad it was the leg and not somewhere else. That was
if I got kicked in the chest, like I ain't built super thick, so like I might not be here if one of them horses kicked me in the chest. But like it just kind of like grazed my leg a little bit. It didn't kick me. It wasn't like a full on front kick to the knee or anything, but I got kicked in the leg and it sucked. Everyone calls him Christopher Reeves. That's the hilarious part. It's what if that's Ricky Starks' new NXT name? He's Chris Reeves.
No, stop it.
Ricky Reeves. We can go with that, right?
I don't think we can go with that. Ricky Stinicky.
No, they definitely can't go with that. I feel like Ricky Reeves is good. You get the Ricky Rally towels going.
Ricky Ticky Tavi. Oh, if you do this today of all days, Ryan, please do. I don't know if he's going to do the bump with Sean, but if Jimmy Van is on the bump today, ask him his favorite episode of In the Weeds. What did I say, the bump?
Yeah,
you know why I said the bump? Because I went and checked in on the Raw Twitch sidecast. It's still going, Jeremy. It's still a weekly thing.
What is it?
It's Ryan Papola sitting in his chair, surrounded by old bump merch, talking about Raw, but not even talking. It's just there. Raw's just happening, and he's just sitting on his computer, watching and like barely interacting with people. It's kind of sad. I want to see. Do I have the photo?
A photo? You're sad.
Am I? I don't think I'm not as sad as this dude. I'm sorry, Ryan. I'm sure you're just a nice enough dude, but that's it. It's just surrounded by bump gear.
Oh, he's got WWE Now pillow. Is that a pillow?
Yeah, it's a WWE Now pillow. He's got a bump mug. He's got
a bump basketball board. That's something.
The only thing that's changed between the last time I took this photo and the one before it was the microphone. He now uses the same microphone that I do. He used to use
giant headphones. Look at those pillow headphones that he has.
Yeah, shout out to him on those headphones. They're nice. But yeah, Ryan Papola used to be the third guy on the bump, and then they canceled the bump. And I'm pretty sure they told him, hey, do this sidecast, like maybe for a few weeks, and then we'll bring back the bump. And it's been 3 years. And nothing has changed. He's just been doing this sidecast, and it only goes 90 minutes. He like eventually just says, we're done here. And that's it. It used to have Megan Morant too. Remember Megan Morant? She still works at the company, but she's pregnant. She's doing stuff. But yeah, she's pregnant. Good for her. Yeah, mazel tov. She's also still running while pregnant. That's like a big thing for her right now. Anyway, her Instagram. I had to make sure. Anyway, she would be in Stamford on the show, but like getting ready for Raw Talk because she was hosting it at the time. So she'd be on for the first hour. This was like a year ago. And then she would like get dressed and then go. And then it would be Ryan and some other guy. I forget who it was. And now it's just Ryan. And it's so sad. I felt bad. So that's why I said the bump instead of the hump.
Bump on your mind.
Yeah, the bump was on my mind. It was a good show for a little while. Remember when I got to give Kayla Braxton shit for not having proper microphone for that show? She was doing the show wearing earpods and thinking that was enough. I'm like, you the rest of the cast has a microphone or something, and you're just sitting in your house with a fucking pair of earpods thinking this is good enough. Are you Kate? What are you doing? Matt Camp died for that simulcast. I can laugh because he landed on his feet. He's doing fine, but like that's very funny. Would you host those?
Would I host the bump?
Would you host No, would you host the Raw sidecast on Twitch?
It would just be you. People know what that looks like. Watch the Christmas show where I'm covering Saturday night's main event during that show. That's what the Raw sidecast would look like. It would be me looking over at the television screen and writing articles.
Our watch-alongs were so chaotic for those reasons. Not because you would pop in for a minute, and that was fine. But like, first of all, okay, sorry, chat. They're AirPods when they're wireless. They're earpods when they are wired. Kate uses earpods. I don't remember what Kayla used. I think she used both at one point.
Okay.
And the earpods actually sound better. The microphone is better in that than the AirPods. But whatever. Point is, they had something, and their Twitch channel's just gone to shit. The best thing that the WWE Twitch channel ever did was the therapist sessions, when they randomly on a Sunday for an hour did the therapist thing.
If I could, if I like wasn't working or something, and I could just like sit and watch the show and react to it, I feel I'd be okay at that. I feel like I'd be fine with that. But because like I'm working during those watch alongs and stuff, like I'm not any good on them because I'm having to pay too much attention to what's actually happening and then writing and then missing stuff. Like if I'm just like watching the show and I can react to it, like if you just put like I can't remember the last show I watched that I didn't have to like work, so I can't even think. A SummerSlam when I was there live, maybe that would be the one. Like,
that's different. You're there live. It's a different,
exactly.
That's a beast.
So yeah, but I think if I was just paid to watch the show and react to the show, I'd probably be okay with that. Yeah, I would just be asking like, where's Thea Hale? Why isn't Thea Hale showing up? I'd probably be pointing out like a lot of dumb stuff. They wouldn't like me for that.
That's fine. I mean, not like anyone's watching. I think not that Tom Green was mentioning that more people watch his WCW deep cuts on Twitch than they do the Twitch Raw sidecast on the official WWE channel. By the way, I didn't notice. I don't know who did. Was this you?
Yeah.
Did you upload this photo? Megan Morant. I didn't even realize where she's still doing work. That's where she's still on this week with WWE.
Oh, I don't think I uploaded that photo. But, that was probably Rob and Maggie.
Either way.
Yeah, but I remember covering that show because they announced the Roxanne. That was where they first announced the Roxanne match was on that show. And so I had to go look for it. I didn't notice that she's pregnant. I was just like, oh, okay.
Oh, it wasn't even about the pregnancy thing. That was just me pointing out that she still works for the company.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
She's been on pre-shows, hasn't she? Or am I just?
You're the one watching the pre-show. I have not watched the pre-show, and
it all blends together for me. I feel like she's been on pre-show.
Well, regardless, she's still with the company, and hopefully her pregnancy is going well. By the way, this is breaking news coming from the one and only Ken Bruno. This will be our updated thumbnail.
No. That might legitimately get in trouble.
The busted open army. that's the kicker for me. Oh God. Someone asking where's Jeremy Borash. Jeremy Borash was working in NXT. He's very highly regarded in the production world there. Oh my gosh.
That's really good, Ken Bruno. I'm worried that I'm like actually going to get in trouble now for making Eminem jokes.
No, you're fine. We've already told you what it is. Our chat knows we're not malicious people. We're not assholes here. Come on. Oh gosh. It would only be worse if someone had popped up right now. What else was there? Jey Uso and Gunther is made official for WrestleMania. It's on the docket. It's there. It's all in good fun. Not the match, but the images that come up. Yeah, Jey Uso and Gunther. It's happening. It's gonna do. They're gonna do it. What were your thoughts on the way that they got to it? Jey Uso comes out on Monday night, yeets for a good solid minute, and then it's like 5 minutes, and then they do the encore, and the shot was from the crowd. He's doing the yeeting, and then Michael Cole starts saying, "Oh, watch out, Jay!" And then gets beat up.
Falls.
He just gets.
If you took off like Michael Cole's commentary, you would think that the Jey Uso just like slipped and fell as he's yeeting.
But then Gunther beats the shit out of him, and then Jey Uso says, probably shouldn't do this, but it's you and me. So, what do you think? This is it. It's Jey Uso and Gunther. Gunther's gonna make Jey Uso's life a living hell until WrestleMania, he said.
I still don't think it's the match.
You think they're gonna swerve you again?
Yep. I'm gonna be like Jensen. Culture. I'm gonna be like Jensen last year. Diamond hands.
I'm
steadfast in my belief that Jey Uso is not facing Gunther.
Steven Jensen, who also thought that AEW Grand Slam Australia was a pay-per-view up until he was told otherwise.
So did most people in AEW. So did AEW social media team.
Oh dear.
Ruled that they called it a pay-per-view.
It's a pay-per-view like atmosphere. It's very different.
It's a good lineup too. Like, it's not like a bad lineup or anything.
No, it'll be a fun show. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. Well, don't listen to AEW on pay-per-view. That's how Elijah gets booked. None of you want that, do you? I've watched him wrestle since he was released. He's fine, doing his thing. Anyway, so you don't think that Jey Uso versus Gunther is going to happen, despite the officialness of the match and the cards and the moving graphics and everything? You think it's not happening?
Nope.
You still think it's going to be a multi-person match?
I've changed my tune on like what the actual match is going to be.
Okay, let's hear it.
It's going to be Jey Uso. It's still a multi-person match, but I got 2 new competitors have entered the fray.
Wow, changing it up big time.
Yeah. Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. That is my new WrestleMania main event. I'm gonna change this every week, by the way. At some point, I'll be right.
What are you? The dirt sheets?
Plans change, pal. That's my prediction. Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. That's where I'm going.
Okay. I still think it's going to be Jey Uso and Gunther, and they played up the story.
Boring. But being boring.
Not going to be the last match of the night. It might be the first match of the night, and it'll be a big moment. And people get excited. Welcome to WrestleMania, the showcase of the moments.
Boo! This boring match.
Yeah, well, you got people in the super chat saying that Jeremy's tanking the show like Mavs GM of Fightful. So what do we know? Thank you, Matthew Hooks. Perfect timing for that super chat. I was waiting for an opening.
I don't want that match. Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens for the World Heavyweight title. Jey is going to win the title before WrestleMania. Gunther's gonna get so mad. Gunther's gonna say this match is so below me. I don't even want to beat you at WrestleMania. I want a bigger match at WrestleMania. So they're going to face at Elimination Chamber. And Jey is going to win the title at Elimination Chamber. This is my new idea.
Hear me out. Now there's going to be a hole in this, and we'll get there in a second.
I'll fill it.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you can fill my holes. Gunther and Jey Uso happens on night 1. Jey Uso captures the World Heavyweight Championship. And then Gunther shows up at the beginning of night 2 and says, no, my legacy will not be defined at WrestleMania by this. This is bullshit. Give me your real challenger. And now comes Goldberg. And it's Goldberg beating Gunther. Gunther loses back-to-back nights at WrestleMania. Goldberg has his last match at WrestleMania against Gunther. Night 2.
This idea sucks.
Yeah, well, so is yours, and you're going to change it every week.
My idea at least makes sense.
So
you can
mine.
Get there with my idea.
Mine makes sense, too, in its own little way.
No, your idea sucks, beating Gunther twice.
Yeah, they're already making him look like a big old bitch, so what? What's the difference?
This idea is awful.
Oh, meanwhile, Louis gets it.
You know it's bad when Louis supports it. Louis a troll just like me, so
who knows? Maybe the best ideas are the ones we made along the way. Oh, there you go. Olive says, not gonna lie, Joel sounds better. It's gonna happen. Joel is right. Hashtag Joel is right in the chat.
Terrible. What if we pitch all these ideas to Janela if he joins the show today?
Oh, Janela might like them. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's how you know they're definitely terrible.
That's how you're going to see a lot of a variation on those on a GCW show.
Joey, what do you think about Goldberg's last match in GCW?
Who's he going to face? Is it me?
Joey, what do you think about you lose to Sabu and then the next night you face Goldberg and you lose to Goldberg? What do you think of this, Joey?
He'd be like, I still get paid.
Yeah.
my merch money still gets in out of that. I'd be fine with it. Joey will take a beating from just about anybody, so I don't think he would mind. As long as he gets paid well for it, he's good for it. Someone asking, is Joey going to be on the show today? Well, that's up to Joey.
Yeah, who knows? I don't want to. We already put out that he missed yesterday. I don't want to put out that he's supposed to be here today and miss today. I feel like Janela he's a good enough dude that he will be here at some point this week. So maybe it's today, maybe it's tomorrow, maybe it's Friday. I don't know.
All of our plans fell apart by Tuesday. So everyone's just going to show up as a free-for-all on Friday, and that's how we're going to tell the story of the J-Cup. J-CUP for those who got confused.
Jacob. We're going to get a Jacob. Who do we know who's named Jacob that we could be on this show to preview the Jacob?
I'm sure there's somebody. We need Jacob Batu for this one.
He's a big star now. We can't get him. Do you think Zarian will do Jersey Jacob? Can he do another character?
I think he would. I gotta get in touch with him.
All right. See if Zarian can do Friday's show to be Jersey Jacob.
I'm trying to look if there's anyone on this list of cage match wrestlers.
Luke Jacobs?
Luke Jacobs. I would do Jersey Jimmy Jacobs.
Oh, could you imagine if we had Jimmy Jacobs?
Maxwell Jacob. Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Oh God, there's no one else on this list that really works. Oh man,
nah, we're not doing that, Jay Grills.
No, never. Just like other musical acts, I will draw the line. There's nobody else who's a Jacob that has a following on cage match. Luke Jacobs is very funny though. Yeah, Maxwell Jersey Jacob Friedman.
I don't feel like he's going to do this show.
Well, we tried to get him once and he said no, but that was for something entirely different.
It's a good bit. Just do the bit, dude.
Let's call John Cena, see if he'll do it.
Could you imagine? Jersey John.
Jersey John Jacob. Jersey Jacob John Cena. Triple JC, let's go. Ryan Lambert said I have a family member named Jacob. I'm not going to read the rest. Video just got to look at the chat.
I mean, can he send something in? Gather his friends around to watch on the TV. Look, guys, I'm on this wrestling morning show.
Oh, man, that'd be awful. Okay, so someone saying, Matthew Hook saying, we need to have Joel live watching Dynamite to see his actual live reaction instead of his fake hate. I can tell you right now, if you want to see what it's like when I watch wrestling shows,
no. That's boring.
Yes, because I don't do the live reactions. I'm just watching the show. One screen has the show, the other screen has stuff I'm working on or whatever I'm doing. I'm boring, man. I'm not watching the shows to react. I know I am. I got two screens and I'm doing it, and they're both two big 32-inch screens that I'm working with, and one's the show, the other one's whatever I'm working on. There's a TV up here that I sometimes turn on.
I can tell you for a fact that Joel hates during the show as well, because he will sometimes message during the show and be like, that sucked. What was that? What is going? He never messaged me when it's a good thing. He will only message when it is something awful. And he's like, yeah, the show is pretty boring. What are we going to talk about today? What are we going to talk about on Friday's show? Not a whole lot happened on Dynamite. The show sucked. So Joel does hate live as the show is happening.
Yeah, but shout out to Triller for not having DCMA issues or DMCA issues when I try to take a screen cap. At least I can pull live Dynamite screen caps versus Netflix that fucks me every time.
Oh, do they get you with the Netflix?
Yeah, Netflix and Sportsnet used to get me. When I take a screen cap, it's all black screen. That shit sucks.
Yeah, like Hulu does that. It's super annoying.
There are ways around it, and I'm just like, I'm not doing this just for that. I can just wait until someone posts the Twitter video, and I can take it from there. Yeah. Or when I have time, I can get it from like the official accounts. So it is what it is. Who was saying something about fun? Why do we even watch, Joel? It's meant to be fun. I still have fun. That's fair. People who are like, I was jumping up and down in my room, pumping my fists in the air, and I'm just like, I was not. I was watching. I don't think I can count on one hand, maybe two, the amount of times I've been like, oh shit, that's great, where it's like kept me up and like made me, I don't know, I watch these things differently. I just do.
Joel watches just to hate. He just seethes as the show is going on. God, another good Will Ospreay match. This fucking guy just do shorter matches. Oh, look, another Will Ospreay kick out. Oh, fighting spirit. Why isn't he selling anything? That's how Joel watches these shows.
I see Gray's being like, I'm easily amused. Lots of things pop me. Good. I am not like this. This is the one thing that I think about often when it comes down to like pro wrestling. I am and I'm not the target audience at the same time. Like movie critics should not be considered the target audience for a film. It's those who are entertained, those who like it, those who see it as a pure escape and entertainment. And I try to see it that way when I'm talking about it, because we've talked about it here. Like people who are against Jey Uso winning the Rumble, for example, aren't necessarily seeing that there are arenas full of people getting super excited for his entrance and for him as a performer or just as an actor or a character for that example. I see it as like, okay, how do we get here? What are the things that happened that made Jey this guy, and why should people be supporting him? Okay, now I get it. I spend a lot of time thinking about these things. Most people just see it on its head and they go about their day. That's fine. You should. This is my job. So I have to think about these things almost incessantly. And that's the best that I can do. And when I don't think about it incessantly, well, then I just get sad. I'm sad a lot.
Joel hates wrestling. Everybody.
That's true.
We've established that on this show.
Kim saying only Steve Macklin matches bring Joel joy.
Yeah.
I'm going to be talking to him soon enough and doing our semi-annual in-person chat. I'll bring this up. This is my curse. Not the chatting with Steve Macklin, the sadness of wrestling. I am Pagliacci.
Yeah, Joel only notices the frame rates. That's all he cares about.
It's true. It's true.
Doesn't care about the work rate. Cares about the frame rates, brother.
Yeah. Production is merely a backstage idea. It's not about what you do, it's about how you see it. Bought and paid for by Thea Hale. God, I wish I would make so much money on the resale. The sadness of wrestling. It's me and Cole Cabana crying. And neither of us can talk about CM Punk.
Well, I think you can.
That's true. One of us can speak about him legally.
Yeah. So maybe I'm better off not to do that is all.
So what if John Cena doesn't win the Elimination Chamber? What if CM Punk somehow wins the Chamber?
Okay.
What happens then? Other than the obvious, which is CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. And CM Punk gets his main event at WrestleMania that he always wanted. What happens? What everything gets thrown into disarray once again. Or at least things that have been reported change again. What do you do with John Cena?
His bring back The Rock. The Rock comes back.
Thrice in a lifetime.
And he's like, heard you need a match, brother. Why don't we do it one more time? One last ride. And then that's the main event over Cody and Punk. Rock just bullies his way into the main event.
29 ass main event.
That would rule.
That'd be so awful. I'm loving it. Oh man, someone's saying they'd be way more interested in Punk Cody than anything else.
The Punk Cody interaction was really good before Rumble. Like there's a lot of story to tell there. There's a lot of story to tell with Punk with a lot of people. Honestly, it looks like we're gonna get Seth and Roman. There's plenty of story with Roman. I think there's more with Seth. I kind of think there's more with Drew. Truthfully, I don't know if they're going to go back to that anytime soon, but there's a lot to do with CM Punk and what stories you can tell with him going into WrestleMania.
Paul, heard CM Punk was main eventing. Yeah, we're 3 weeks out. Really excited for WrestleMania. Clear the schedule. What?
He does that. I know I posted the video, but the Fast and Furious film where he's in the fucking arm brace and he just breaks it. He just flexes and he just heals his broken arm. He's like, Daddy's got to go to work. Rules.
Like, yeah, the Punk stuff. It's so interesting because again, the general consensus is that whatever his favor is from Paul Heyman is WrestleMania related. Doesn't have to be. It could be a long-term thing. But like, if he wants that main event now, then then that's what it is. Him getting a main event spot. But the only way he can get a main event spot at this point is to be in the main event against Cody Rhodes in the top match, unless The Rock comes back and then he just CM Punk beats up The Rock and says, "That's my main event. That's my white whale. This is the match that I want." And then Cody and Cena will happen, somewhere else on the card.
If they're going with Jay and Gunther, if that's the match, I'm not certain that's main eventing.
I don't think it will. Again, I think it would either open the show or it'll be that mid-show moment, like Kofi Kingston, Daniel Bryan, which I know was WrestleMania 35 and it was a longer show and blah, blah, blah. But again, it wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't that match.
But then you're looking at, all right, what's going to main event night one, assuming Cody and Chamber winner main events night two. What's going to main event night one? I'm still steadfast in believing you got to have a Rumble winner main event. I don't think it's good optics if the night one main event is Roman, Seth, and Punk, and then you don't have Jay main event and you don't have Charlotte main event. You've left both Rumble winners out and you've once again left the women out. I don't love that, but it might happen. Like, it truly might come around to that, because I still like Roman is still kind of the main event. He still is. And I think that's a big selling point to all of this, is Roman is still a main event.
Yeah. And I feel like your emphasis on the importance of the Rumble winner getting a main event is not one that's shared by WWE Creative. The idea is that they get the title shot. Their main event idea is just as fluid as anything else you can think of.
So typically when they've done the double main events, I'm not going to count 36 because
that was a weird show.
Yeah, it was pandemic and it was in front of no fans. So I'm not going to count 36. They've always done one night of happiness, right? So 37, Bianca was the happy moment. Bianca and Sasha Mercedes was the big happy moment. Great match. 2 black female wrestlers headlining WrestleMania. And then the sad moment was Roman stacking Bryan and Copeland. 38 was the sad moment, I guess, was Roman winning both titles. But the happy moment was Austin's return and Austin beating Owens. 39 was Sammy and Kevin winning the tag titles was the happy moment.
Friendship.
Cody losing was the sad moment. And 40, the sad moment was Rock and Roman winning, and the happy moment was Cody winning. So they've always done one night of happiness, one night of sadness. Let's take what's going on here with the current lineup. Is Cena winning, Cena beating Cody? Is that the happy moment? That has to be, right?
I guess. But again, this is like, what's the crowd going to go for in a Cena versus Cody match?
They're cheering for John Cena. Are you kidding? They're going for John Cena.
I see that, but there are hardcore Cody fans. Like, I see both sides of it. That's why it's a little confusing to make that the match. It is you got to pick your guy. And it's not a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. It's just, if you're going by the one night happy, one night sad, then I mean, shit, maybe Gunther and Jey Uso is a main event match. Maybe it is. And maybe it does go on last. They did it at Saturday night's main event. I know, completely different shows. Don't get me wrong. But my point is, they have used that as a main event match before. So they could do it. You've already bought the ticket. You're already watching the show. Again, we've already established that the shows have not as much importance behind them, WrestleMania being different, but still, the money's already in your pocket. It could easily just be that. And again, 70,000 people doing the yeet, like, the emotional investment is there. And if they build it for the next 9 weeks till WrestleMania, quite a few weeks until WrestleMania. But if you build it along that time, then you can absolutely have a Jey Uso Gunther match that ends night 1. And then night 2, maybe it is Cody and Cena. And that's a different feeling. Though it doesn't matter who wins, because you would have cheered both men, or it would have been okay regardless. Or maybe it is Punk and Cody. And if it's Cody and Punk, then maybe Punk has some sort of heel turn at the end of it. Maybe it is one of those, like, he's the good guy going into it, and eventually it finishes kind of like 17, but not as disrespected at the end. Where Austin went heel, and then people didn't like it, but they still went with it at the beginning of it. Maybe it is Punk turns heel and effectively steals the title, and then it leads to Punk and Cena going into the summer, which for some shows that might be hot, and that's your night 2 finish. Punk steals the title effectively. And then Jey Uso winning the first night is big enough that you had your happy and you had your sad moments.
Where does Charlotte and Tiffany fit on this?
Opening or middle or whatever it is.
Tiffany winning feels happy, and Charlotte winning feels sad.
Depending on who you ask, but yes, the crowd is very much behind. Sorry, they're very much not behind Charlotte. They're getting there with Tiffany. Like I said, the Nia Jax involvement in the match is hopefully going to solidify that Tiffany Stratton is going to be the babyface going into WrestleMania. They might just work more heels into the Tiffy storyline so that she makes it clear that she's gone good, but we're not there yet. It's not established. Same thing with Rhea and Bianca as a possibility is another one. That it's like, if they do that match, both women are fiercely loved by their favorites. Like, they are fiercely loved by their fan bases. That's one of those special matches where, just like when you did Sasha versus Bianca, it was like you either picked a side, you were on both sides, or you were just standing your favorite wrestler. And if you were on both sides, it was like the moment, the historical reverence given to this was big enough. So I don't know with the women, I don't know what match is considered bigger or what match could be a main event if you do that. That's just kind of where I'm at with this thought process. Also, what do you do with John Cena? Because again, this is his final WrestleMania. That's the big thing that weighs heavily on my mind, is if he's not going after Cody, then what does he do given that, again, his final WrestleMania?
What if he faced Mr. Hughes at WrestleMania?
That's what I'm here for. Tee it up and let's go to town, baby. I'm all about it.
He's here. He's back. He's facing Atticus Cogar this weekend at the JCW Jersey J Cup, not Jersey Jacob. He's the one, the only Joey Janela. Joey, how you doing?
Okay. Just chilling out. Little snowy day here in New Jersey. Well, it snowed last night. It's not snowing anymore, but it's nice and white. You know?
I'm up in Toronto. We're about to get basted overnight, so I get it. It's gonna be rough.
I mean, we haven't really had too much snow this year. Global warming.
It's been nothing but ice and snow for about 2 months here in Ohio, but Ohio's terrible. So
yeah.
Are you facing John Cena at WrestleMania? Let's go ahead and put this out there.
John Cena? So when I left AEW, I asked I was in the talks with WWE to come in there, and I said there's only 2 ways I'm coming into the company, is if I have a feud with John Cena or The Rock. And they checked The Rock. They said Cena no, because he was filming a movie. They checked The Rock's schedule. The Rock was down. And what happened was Rock had to film a commercial for his energy drink. So they couldn't do it. And that's why I'm wrestling on the indies,
Because Rock big timed you for his Zoa?
I mean, I understand where he was coming from. That's a big investment right there. So it was supposed to pay off at WrestleMania. I think I pitched him the idea. I was deranged paparazzi, and I was taking pictures of The Rock, like walking out of restaurants and shit. And then eventually I'd blast him with my camera, or a fireball would come out of the camera, like, Yokozuna style, and burn him to death nearly. And he couldn't, do his movie. So then he came after me, and then we wrestled at WrestleMania in a ladder match for his contract to Under Armour.
Really, of all the things, it would have been Under Armour. Good for that.
Yeah, it's a lot of money in that.
That's true. What would you have named it? Would you have named it Janela Razzi Promotions? Like, what would have been your paparazzi company name?
I forgot.
Have you ever tried the Terabana? It's good shit.
Nah, I don't think so. I think it's okay. I know. Actually, his tequila. I thought you were talking about the energy drink, the Zoa. That's
Zoa's the energy. Yeah.
Yeah. No, the tequila was pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't drink anymore, but when I was drinking, I did partake in the Rock tequila gimmick.
I drink it every Friday. That's on this show live. Just drink on the air. Who cares?
Yeah. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking?
Yeah, it's good shit. It's good shit.
How is the cutting down the drinking, the no drinking? How has that been for you?
It's been great, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel so much healthier. No more missing flights, no more losing my passport, and feeling like shit wrestling these crazy indie matches. I did it. A lot of my great indie matches, I was completely hungover. Me and Moxley in Fighter Fest, I was completely hungover. And I'm looking back, like you had issues or something. It's like, why were you doing this to yourself the night before shows? But I got better with the times. But now it's like, instead of going to the bar after the show, it's going to the hotel room, ordering some Popeye's chicken, and going to bed, or not going to bed because the flight is too early, and getting on the flight, but sleeping on the flight and waking up refreshed and feeling like a princess.
You have Atticus Cogar this weekend in the first round. This is a man who has skewered you in the past. You've been through some wars with Atticus Cogar. What are you expecting this weekend?
I mean, I'm wrestling right now with a torn bicep, completely ruptured. Usually surgery is required with a rupture as bad as mine. But with spring break coming up and WrestleMania weekend, I opted not to do the surgery. So I wrestled Paul Walter Hauser, famous Hollywood actor, Golden Globe and Emmy winner, this past weekend in Seattle. We had a great match. What the fans were calling 8-star match. I think Meltzer said it was 9 stars. But anyways, I wrestled with a torn bicep, and man, that was a rough one. It was a hard one to get through, Felt like, every bump I took, I felt it in my bicep. And that bicep right now is halfway up the arm, and it's such a shame because I was just getting such good shape. By the summer, I would have been maybe the best physical condition I've ever been in. And, yeah, it's completely torn. So I'm going to fight through it. And J-Cup is, without a torn bicep, is, it's a grueling tournament. It's 4 rounds. I've done the first year I made it to the 3rd round. Last year I made it to the 2nd round. This year I going all the way with a torn bicep. So, Atticus Kogar, he's just come back to the company. He's trying to regain the trust of the locker room, but he's doing it a sleazy way. But I don't think he really cares, actually, to be honest. But yeah, he left the company a few years ago. He followed Ricky Shane Page out of the company. He realized eventually, years later, that if he kept on following the path Ricky Shane Page was on, he'd become quite irrelevant, like Ricky. So he had to come back to GCW to regain his relevance, and we'll see what happens.
We asked the question to Cole Radrick on Monday, looking at the field and knowing that you, like Cole, have been a part of GCW and JCW for such a long time. Was there anyone that immediately stood out to you as someone you want to face in this J-Cup?
I mean, it's a stacked J-Cup. I'd say Clark Connors. That's never happened before. I think that'd be quite the match right there. But it's a great one. I think Arez is in the tournament, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Surprisingly, we never been in a match together either. That's another one. So let's get past Atticus. Atticus has to. There's no weapons in this tournament. This is the J-Cup. There's rules to this shit. The last 3 years, he spent his time wrestling in dirt pits and chain rope rings and hepatitis covered canvases all over the United States. And he got away with just smash and bash wrestling. You pick something up, you smash him in the head. There's no technical wrestling aspects to that. I call it smash and bash wrestling. And then he'd pull out the skewers and get a cheap pop. But now he's going to have to learn how to wrestle. Not only is it the J-Cup, but it's GCW, number 1 indie in the world right now. And, there's no smash and bash here, especially with Joey Janela. People, pigeonhole me into saying, some people that really haven't paid attention to my career say I'm a hardcore wrestler, but I do hardcore just as well as I do technical, just as well as I do high flying, just as well as I do some comedy stuff. I'm a little bit of everything.
One venue where you had to kind of do a little bit of everything because of rules and regulations was Hammerstein and facing Tanaka. And you said afterwards, like, you're good if you don't wrestle at Hammerstein again. Is it largely just the restrictions that go into the New York and not being able to do certain things?
It's just a pain in the ass, and I feel like, oh yeah, it's a hot crowd, but I wrestled for the way hotter, this past weekend, and I said Seattle. I said that building is, in my opinion, number 1 wrestling building on the Indies. Like, that crowd, however much they fit there, feels like thousands. It's real hot all night. They never get tired. But Hammerstein, of course, there was the issues this year with the injury and delay in show and getting them back and the long show, and it was a 5-hour show. And the restrictions, and just a pain in the ass. Just New York City is a pain in the ass, the commission. But, there's that guy they sent from the commission. I think his name is, I don't know what his fucking name is, but he was whining and screaming the whole show because there's unprotected chair shots. And so one more unprotected chair shot, we're shutting the show down. Shit like that. It's just stressful. Thankfully, I don't have to deal with it.
Well, next
if I was a promoter, I don't know if I'd ever run in New York City after the last few times, after whatever I've seen in my career. Ambulances not getting there in time and shows getting delayed hours. And I have a House of Glory once, but yeah, it's just like I wanted to start my own promotion a couple years ago, and I'm like, let's do it like it would be cool to do in like New York City nightclubs. And now I'm completely against that idea after the last couple of years.
Do it in an Atlanta nightclub, just from what I've heard.
Atlanta nightclub. I mean, Atlanta is like, I don't know. I don't think it's too hot there right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like everybody's been running Atlanta.
I don't know why. Yeah.
Last month it was like center stage for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just not hot for GCW. Maybe everyone else. Because I don't know. I don't know what MLW is, or I think TNA sold it out. West Side Gun was there, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So it is a hot wrestling city, unless you're GCW. But it's okay. It's okay.
So you were talking about your own promotion, and while you didn't do that, you're still going ahead with Joey Janela Spring Break. That is your big show every year, WrestleMania weekend. You coaxed Sabu out from his hole for a last match. How do we get there? And what's kind of your feeling going into it? Because Sabu is, well, he's Sabu. What's the feeling there? And how do we get there?
I mean, Sabu, I don't know where his mind's at right now. I know he wants to do the match. He hasn't wrestled in a few years. I know he's a big fan of mine. He's a big fan of GCW. And we didn't start off always on the same page. We had a match in like 2016, which they did a documentary about me on YouTube that a lot of people watch. Please Don't Die. And that's one of the focal points of the documentary. That Sabu, he was just like beat to death in this situation. He couldn't get it done in the ring, and he needed hips, and he needed this, he needed that, and the match just didn't go the way we planned. And it's like, fuck. It's like, never meet your idols, never wrestle your idols, And at that point, I was like, fuck this guy. But later years, we become tight, hanging out in Las Vegas where he lives. We have mutual friends, and it's fucking Sabu. So if anyone was going to get his last match, it was going to be me. And I don't know where he's at right now. He said he's going to be getting ready for it. But I said, I'll get you through it, Sabu. I told him in Hammerstein, and he goes, no, I'll get you through it. I said, I guess that's what I want to hear. So I don't need to be fucking carried. I'm going to carry you through a Sabu fucking classic. He also said to me, he wants it to be his greatest match of all time. So I don't know what that means. Could be. I told him I've wrestled Marty Jannetty with deformed ankles, and he could barely walk. I did that twice. I wrestled Barry Horowitz, who needs 2 knee replacement surgeries, and he can't bend his knees, so he looks like he moves like a real life action figure. And Shaw Ross Sapp popped up on the bottom here.
I almost wrestled Barry Horowitz once.
Well, I did for 30 minutes. It was a better. I think people always say Bret Hart is the greatest carry job wrestler of all time, and I could say right now, with all the confidence in my heart, and you think I'm joking or just making up some bullshit, that I am the greatest carry job wrestler of all time.
No, I think you're
even
incredible
better than Bret Hart.
People.
Even better than Bret Hart.
I would say don't step on the line so I can turn this into a headline, Sean.
I love Bret Hart. I love Bret Hart. He's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And he's a better wrestler than I'll ever be. But as far as carrying other wrestlers through matches, I am the best carry job wrestler of all time. They were saying when he carried, what's his name?
Tom McGee.
You give good CJs.
Tom McGee. Yeah, it was a great carry job. I mean, that guy looked like the next thing. But I wrestled Barry Horowitz for 30 minutes.
Mine was going to be a squash where he walked in and hit me with a small package and beat me. So, yeah.
That's what he wanted to do to me. I said, no, brother. No, that ain't happening tonight. And I was, I never did magic mushrooms before, but I was drunk the night before. And we were at the bar. My friend's girlfriend, she's the bartender. So whenever the bar would close, we'd just stay there till like 4 or 5 a.m. Just keep on drinking for free. And the other bartender had magic mushrooms. And I said, give me that. I took a handful and I ate them. And then for some reason, I went back to my friend's house. I was feeling good, you know. I was like, wow, this isn't too bad. But then I watched a wrestler. I don't know why. That's what I wanted to watch on magic mushrooms. But I stayed up all night and then went right to the building. And I was still high on magic mushrooms. I wrestled Barry Horowitz, dealing with the side effects of that. So, and I carried him to a 30-minute match. So Bret Hart could never.
John, do you have a question?
I have no questions.
That's a great headline. No.
Yeah, it's a great headline.
Oh yeah,
and it's true. That's not like me when I came and said that I wanted to wrestle The Rock in WrestleMania. That's just me talking out my ass. Me saying that I'm a better carry job wrestler than Bret Hart is 100% the truth. They said guys can wrestle a broom. I'm that guy. I'm him. I can wrestle a broom for 30 minutes, no problem.
That should be like everybody's blowing up on, TikTok and Instagram. That could be like your content ID. You wrestling various objects. And
I did the social distancing match. I wrestled the Invisible Man. I wrestled that fucking Yoshiko doll.
Yeah.
Ricky Starks wrestled a broom during the pandemic, the early pandemic. He posted himself against the broom.
I mean, I could do it. I wrestle basically walking brooms. Who else? Jeff Hart. If you haven't seen this match, you have to go on YouTube and watch this one. It's from 5 Hour Wrestling. It's a guy, Jeff Hart. He's like a hillbilly guy who he pretends he's related to Bret Hart. Untrained wrestler down south. He's quite the legend. I did a 30-minute match with him and made him look like Kenta Kobashi. So
I want to do a gimmick where I call myself Jeff Rebel and I make my entrance music worse each time I have a match. That's what I want to do.
Have you pitched that to anybody?
No, this is the first time.
Okay.
So Joey will be facing somebody with that gimmick in 2 weeks.
No.
I am looking at this Jeff Hart match, and I'm looking at Jeff Hart's, and I'm crying a little bit inside.
The thing is, I lived up to the $5 wrestling hype because the string came out of my tights before, and I couldn't get it back in before that match. So the whole match, my pants are falling down.
I see it. You're just pulling up your pants. This
rules. It's kind of embarrassing, but it's $5 wrestling, so it's okay.
It's
but
true.
there is the greatest.
I'm the Jeff Hart man. Oh my god!
There is the greatest chair shot of all time in that match. He's like standing across on the other side of the ring, and somehow I chuck that chair about 20 feet, and it nails him right in the fucking head the ring.
I just scrubbed to that point. This is shit rules.
I threw it right over the ring. Somehow it's like a 20-foot fucking shot, and I nail him with it. It's a good one. You got to watch that.
I'm glued to the screen right now as I see this. Look at you
do a
giving
live
him
watch
some
along
too.
Of Joey's match.
Next time we'll do a watch along for sure. But
yeah, this is a tape study moment for sure.
Yeah, this is like if this is the match. If you say I'm a bad wrestler, if you have that opinion, They'll still say I'm
the
a bad
sharpshooter.
That's to say it's trash. But if you know the level of this guy is at in ring, and I do this, I think it's nearly 30-minute match with him.
Video's 26 minutes.
This is Hall of Fame shit. This is
I'm
first
16
ballot
minutes
Hall
in,
of
and
Fame bullshit.
You've got a sharpshooter locked on him, of which I think you released. He was probably legitimately asking you to release it at that point. Oh, you're putting it out again. No, he kicked out. Oh, ref bump.
That's what you do.
There's like 8.
Okay, I got to watch this in full. I can't skip around.
You got to watch it in full. It's like,
yeah,
it is one of the, like I've showed it to people. Like I've showed it to people that are millionaires right now in the wrestling business, and they said it's the greatest match they ever seen in their life, and I should be inducted to every Hall of Fame. I don't know why I'm not on Meltzer's that fucking what is that Observer Hall of Fame ballad.
I think it's a ballad, not a ballad.
What?
Well, it's the ballad of Hall of Fames.
They should make a ballad about me carrying all these fucking guys.
So you gave them the legit headline. Can you give us another headline other than I showed all the millionaires my match with Jeff Hart and they said it was the greatest thing of all time?
I don't know. I just make headlines. I don't know. People can't really see my tweets anymore. The Ringside News used to make a headline out of every one of my tweets. That guy, he looks like
I can't embed your tweets. Like you've flagged.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I'm like a porn. Like I've posted my cock on there, but I never did. But I don't know. Maybe I've said some weird shit, which I have. But I can't do shit, man. It sucks.
Yeah, I gotta pull up your actual account. I can't just search you. I have to look up Janela Baby, and that's the only way that I can actually see your Twitter.
I think I'm 10,000 impressions away from I can make a. They could start sending me money apparently or some shit on Twitter. So I'm feeling like I'm feeling like I just have to get to that barometer, and they'll be like, "Oh, this guy is making us money, so we gotta release the hounds here, release his tweets to the world." You know, I don't know why my shit can't be embedded, but like you can post like Nazi shit on there now, you know?
Well,
I'm sure that shit can be embedded, you know? You could post a picture of like Hitler like riding a pony or something. And you could post that all over the place.
It's so weird. Yes, I can't even embed like I just want to embed when you made the announcement that the Wagners are going to be at spring breaks. Like, why is this flagged? Maybe because you tagged GCW. I don't know.
No, they can't. You can't even look up my name on. You can't even look up my name on Twitter.
I have to pull. I have to look at his actual. I have to enter his actual handle and just
search.
Yeah, like it won't show up any other way. It's really weird.
It's like me and porn people. It's the same thing. I don't know why. I've never posted any nudes or anything. I threaten to post my dick for the world to see.
When I search your name, a search recommendation comes up. It says Joey Janela hacking.
What are you doing?
I'm hacking, apparently. Hacking the world of wrestling to great carry job matches.
A lot of people have.
Hacking the wrestling matrix. That's what I feel like. I feel like everything. I feel like I live in a fake world. Has been catered to me, like the Matrix, but it's all wrestling. It's like you want to wrestle all these guys as a teenager, you wrestle them all, but you have to carry them to 30-minute match.
Is there anyone on the list that you haven't wrestled? You're like, okay, this.
I mean, a lot of the guys are retired now. Like, but I had like Buddha on the list and like Liger and those guys. I don't know who else. I wrestle them all, man. It's kind of fucked. Like, I feel like
Bushwhacker Luke or Butch, is he still doing it?
Bushwhacker Luke Butch is dead.
Yeah.
Bushwhacker Luke lives above Hogan's restaurant, I think.
Yeah, he wrestled in 2023.
I think he has a supplement shop or some shit next to him.
The man had six matches in 2023.
Ellsworth
wrestled him. You can.
I mean, he's still going. I mean, I don't know if I could get a match out of this guy. That might be what I can't get a wrestling match out of.
Just do the battering ram to each turnbuckle.
I mean, I could try.
You can do the
really
Hasbro stomp where
now. We're really digging.
I think we found one.
I would like to team with them and be the new Bushwhackers. My teeth, I have missing tooth, so
that'd actually be kind of cool.
It kind of just works, you know. Who had a missing tooth? Was it Luke or Bush? Luke had the missing tooth.
I feel like they both had missing
I feel like it was both.
Yeah. We're just like that's me.
You can make this work.
Yeah, the new Bushwhackers.
New Bushwhackers, baby. That's
Tommy Rich is still out there wrestling.
Yeah,
I mean, Tommy Rich might be on spring break this year.
There you go.
All right.
There's some crazy idea there that me and Brett cooked up, but
you versus Braden
the
Walker.
senior scramble. The senior scramble.
Is that a Denny's thing? Sponsored?
No. It should be. It should be sponsored by the Denny's in Vegas that we wrestle in front of in the cold.
I ate at that Denny's 2 weeks ago.
I went on a date at that Denny's once. Not a date, but I was out at a club with a girl.
It's a wonderful Denny's.
And we went to the Denny's after. But yeah,
what is your Denny's order?
Denny's. I fucking hate Denny's.
It used to
Have
be.
you ever wrestled NWO Sting? I know you were in he was in the cluster.
No. I don't know. Where is he at?
He was jacked last time I saw him.
He was jacked at spring break. Big guy. Takeshi. Oh, never mind. Yeah, but Takeda marked out for seeing NWO Sting at spring break. So I guess this guy really had some influence in Japan.
Oh, Jeremy watched me mark out over him at WrestleCade because I wanted to do an interview with him, and I was like, is he going to want to do an interview about being somebody else? And he was really great. He was wonderful.
Those clusterfuck matches, we've got some names, but we've run out, I think. And now we're
I've got some potential ones for you. How about Henry O. Godwin?
That's one I've thought of for sure.
It's Vegas, so Godfather.
The Godfather, he doesn't want to do anything, I don't think.
Oh.
I don't think he wants to do anything physical.
He's busy.
He's tried before.
Doesn't have to do anything physical. He's just there to do what the Godfather does.
I think we tried the Godfather or Papa Shango.
Mustafa Syed. He's still wrestling.
Is he really?
Of the Gangsters. Yeah. He wrestled let's see. Last month. He wrestles He wrestles every month in California.
Oh shit. I mean, that's awesome. Well, that's a good one, actually. If this guy's wrestling every month, how come that's full on the radar?
Listen, if you want the ultimate carry job, Joey Janela versus Shanky.
Shanky? He's gonna carry my ass.
Let's see
Brett.
here.
I think Brett would. I think he's trying to. I think he wants all the Punjabi wrestlers to come to GCW. I think he wants to start GCW India, to be honest.
Where's Jinder been? He hasn't been on recent shows.
I don't know.
He did
get a run. I don't know.
Leave.
I don't know. I'm pissed. I never got to wrestle Jinder. That would have been a good one.
You ever wrestled Sandman?
No, he's too fucked to wrestle. But
he's smoked
cool, man. I
out
did a podcast a few months ago.
Yeah, Singapore Kane with Sandman.
I did his podcast a few months ago. Yeah, he's a cool ass dude.
Yeah, somehow, like I always look at his cage match every year, and somehow, like he works a match every year, which is him standing on the ring apron in street clothes until he cracks somebody over the head with a cane.
The thing with the carry job is these wrestlers gonna want it too. You know.
Yeah.
It's not a one-way street. Barry Horowitz didn't want it at first, but I talked him into it somehow. I said, "This is the match. If I say stay, you stay. If I say move, you move. Okay?" and that was it. That's one. It's on full matches on YouTube. I'm doing something called Janela Throwback Thursdays now.
I saw that.
Where I post a match every week, a weird match I've had, and make it a little music video and post it on my social media. But no one gave a shit last week, and that was Barry Horowitz. It's because my social media is blocked. You know, the algorithm is right now Nazis. So
yeah,
the algorithm is Nazis, and so it got lost in the shuffle.
We're gonna have to start running it on our platform instead.
That's it. Just start running all my shit on the platform.
Sandman has had a match every year since 1989. That's pretty impressive.
Good stuff.
I mean, he'll do it to his, if you want to call it matches, but I don't think he really does much. I think he just comes in and hits a couple people with the cane, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, they're very quote-unquote matches.
I mean, I don't even think he hits the Russian anymore.
Tony Atlas wrestled 2 weeks ago.
Wow, that's a good one. Oh, I wanted Tony Atlas in the clusterfuck a couple years ago. I don't know why I didn't pan out, but I just didn't want him to do anything but come out, and the girl just stands on his face as the match is going on around him.
That'd be very funny. He was in the Limitless Rumble like last month or 2 months ago. So why
did he do that spot?
No, not that. I'm pretty sure. Although the thumbnail on the YouTube video probably was that.
I think we'll do that this year. I need to put in the word. Need to see some foot fetish action on spring break.
It is Vegas,
Haku.
though.
Haku? Mm-hmm. Haku, I think we had booked once, and it fell through somehow. It was lost in New York.
Yeah.
It ended up being Sabu.
Oh, yeah. There's the Barbarian, the Warlord. You can face the Barbarian, the Warlord, and Haku as like some new stable of Faces of Fear and the Powers of Pain.
Like real obscure ones. Mustafa, yes, that's a real obscure one. But
yeah, he's wrestling every month. He's like 60 something.
He probably looks jacked still too.
Probably. Listen, Onyx of TNA. Was it the front line or the red shirt security or whatever the hell that was? Find that kid, Chris Vaughn of TNA red shirt security. I remember they were like, this guy's the future of TNA. And
I have no idea who that is.
If there's any name that I feel Joey Janela can get out of wherever he is, we need Monty Brown back.
I mean, that's the one that was like on the list since the beginning, but it's unattainable. Yeah. Unattainable. That's been like pitched since Spring Break 1 every year. Let's get Monty Brown, and it's just not going to happen.
The White Whale, Monty Brown.
What about
Ahmed Johnson? I talked to him. That might happen.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Is he going to be Ahmed Johnson or Big T?
I don't know. I want him to come out with the pistol though.
and the LOD spikes that he still has.
That's why I'm the pistol with some people in the ring. Shoot.
Where's Matt Bentley these days? Michael Shane. He was Shawn Michaels' nephew.
Michael Shane, I was a big mark for when I was a teenager.
He was good.
He ruled.
Because we were like, wow, it's Shawn Michaels' nephew. Was that the case? He was somehow related to Shawn Michaels, right?
Yeah, he was like his nephew.
Yeah.
Or cousin or something.
I didn't know if that was work or shoot.
No, I think it was shoot actually.
Okay.
Ooh, Air Paris. AJ Styles.
I was about to say Air Paris.
I know him. He's a good dude.
That'd be cool. I was going to say that like 2 minutes ago for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, I could carry all these guys to 5-star matches.
You wrestled Gary Wolf?
Man, that almost happened before, I think. But yeah, I think we tried to get Gary Wolf for the clusterfuck last year. Was he in it? I don't think he was even in it. No, he wasn't.
He wasn't in it. He wasn't in it.
No, I tried to get him, and then he was like, it's too late.
He wrestles about once a month as well.
Yeah. He's like, it was too late. I'm not doing it.
There are some options still. This whole year could just be you wrestling these guys.
I mean, I'm broken down myself. I'm more broken down than some of these guys.
He's gotta go get his bicep healed, Sean.
Gotta be
healed. That's true. That's true. Doug Gilbert, have you wrestled him? I know he did some stuff with Allie.
Yeah, no, I haven't. But
1996 Royal Rumble legend, Doug Gilbert.
Yeah, he's a legend. I see Doug Gilbert in 98, walking distance, 2 minutes from my house.
Wow.
This Psycho Sid, fresh off his WWF run.
Damn. Yeah. I'm looking at, I see it, Hazlet, New Jersey.
Yep, Holy Family School.
Let's see what was on that card. The Overweight Lover against Kevin Knight. Not the
current Kevin Knight.
Not the current Kevin. Wow, Kevin Devin Knight. Storm, Crowbar.
Yep.
On that show.
He wrestled Inferno Kid. Did he wrestle Inferno Kid that show? Is that who he wrestled?
Devin Storm wrestled Ray Odyssey and Slayer.
Oh yeah. I remember.
Wow, Stevie Richards against Rick Ratchet in a ladder match.
That was on that show?
That's what it says, yeah.
I remember someone wrestled Rick Ratchet. I didn't know it was Stevie Richards. I don't remember that whatsoever.
Well, the main event was Lance Diamond. Do you remember who he wrestled?
Bob Backlund?
You're right. Bob Backlund. I just love the idea.
There was some guy with a Goldberg mask in the crowd, or a Steve Austin mask, and he was standing on. This place was packed. There was almost 1,500 people there because the Indies were hot at this time. Like NWA Jersey was hot. Was hot. There was 1,000, and I forgot who was originally supposed to be in that match, but they no-showed. I forgot who it was. Maybe Al Snow, I think. So Al Snow was supposed to wrestle Lance Diamond, and he no-showed. So they had Bob Backlund, so no one gave a shit. So the whole match, there was a guy in a Steve Austin mask in the bleachers, and he was shaking his head like Goldberg, and everyone was going, Goldberg, and no one paid attention to the fucking match. And I remember this vividly, and I was 9 years old, maybe 8 years old.
Well, buddy, the Overweight Lover is still wrestling.
Oh,
is he really?
Yeah, his name is Biggie Biggs. He's wrestling in Jersey.
Yeah, I know Biggie Biggs. That's a Jersey legend right there.
Yeah, he's still working.
I didn't know they call him the Overweight Lover.
They call him the Overweight Lover.
I know he lost a bunch of weight, so he's not too overweight anymore.
Now he's just the lover.
Well, no, now
meaning to the blue boy.
Maybe now he just likes to make love to overweight people instead of being the overweight person to whom the love is given.
I can't believe Richards was on that show.
Yeah, he was.
And then there was another. The next time they came back to that building. It was Public Enemy versus the Pitbulls, and I have a picture. There's a picture on my social media. You can find it somewhere. Me with the Public Enemy, and they're fucking zooted out of their minds. You could just tell in the picture. And
by the way, those that don't know Lance Diamond, who faced Bob Backlund, that's Pat Kenny, Simon Diamond.
Who was on that second show? It was
let's see, I'll find out.
Public Enemy versus the Pitbulls. There was a ladder match. I think it was Inferno Kid and Devin Storm on that one. Maybe there was someone else in there. Definitely a fake Golga on the show.
Did you say a fake Golga?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they be one of John Tenta's other characters? Why go with Golga?
I mean, Golga was a hot deal in New Jersey Indies at the time. It was they'd get any fat guy to be in the Golga costume.
Okay.
Yeah. That went on to 2009. Just so they could put because there's benefit shows that the scam, the Carluzzo scam was that when Carluzzo died, Dapper kind of took his territory. Dapper Joe Panzerino and turned to NWS. That's where I started. It would be there has to be. They would do benefits packages 3 TV names and 1 big name. You have to pay this for your thing, and then there'd be the lower package. It's 2 TV names and be Tito Santana and Golga, but it would just be any guy in a Golga mask.
Was this show in New Brunswick, New Jersey?
No, there was that one was at Holy Family too. But I've been to other show. There was a couple. I seen some crazy ones. I seen I've seen some crazy, weird shows, NWA Jersey shows.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at the. Let's see. Who did you say that Public Enemy faced?
Pitbulls. But they toured that match, I think, for like a month or a couple of months.
Yeah, I can't find anything but one in Tom's River where Missy Hyatt defeated Sweet Destiny as well.
I seen Missy Hyatt versus Nicole Bass.
Oh,
wow.
On an show.
Ooh, Don Montoya and Reckless Youth versus the Backseat Boys on this one. That would have been
Backseat Boys, EWR Legends.
Really good.
The Backseat Boys. Boys was at Holy Family. That they wrestled Twiggy Biggie Biggs. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Sir, that's the overweight lover to you.
Overweight lover. Overnight lover.
Guys, I'm going to prepare for my show. Joey, it was a pleasure. Good to see you.
Is Jimmy joining you?
Jimmy,
no, hell no. Jimmy's not joining.
Sorry, folks. Can't ask Jimmy about his favorite episode of ITW.
Yeah. Jimmy doesn't know this show exists, thankfully.
Probably for the best.
It doesn't affect his budget. I'll see you guys later.
Bye, Sean.
Thanks, Sean. Well, that took a detour.
He was out.
All right. Jeremy, do you have anything else, or am I going to do a partner promo punch in the face?
Partner promo punch in the face.
All right. Joey, we've done this before with you. 3 names, partner, promo, or punch in the face. You ready?
Okay. What was the promo? What does that mean?
Oh, it's just someone you go one-on-one and just a promo. Who you'd like to do a promo off with.
Okay.
All right. It's people who are in the J Cup because that's why you're here.
It's promo, punch.
Partner, promo, punch in the face. Singles match, punch in the face.
Okay.
All right. Masha Slamovich, Sydney Akeem, Jack Cartwheel.
Jack Cartwheel, punch in the face. Because, I don't know. That's probably the most punchable face out of them all.
I get it.
Promo off. I don't know. I haven't really heard City. Actually, I haven't really heard City Akeem talk too much. So I'd promo with him just because I never really heard him talk, and everyone would be paying attention to me in that situation. And Masha, I have to team with because she'll kill somebody. But yeah, that's not a fun one. Give me like 3 weird names.
I was gonna pick 3 weird ones, and I was like, then we got into the sidetrack.
J-Cup.
I'm only going by who was told to me, not for this, but for the J-Cup stuff.
Yeah, give me weird fucking names. Think of something.
All right. Partner promo, punch in the face. The chat might actually have better suggestions than I will, because we just went through so many obscure and just random names. Okay. Louis says, partner promo, punch in the face. Christopher Reeves. These are not wrestlers. Christopher Reeves, Doink the Clown, and Mantar.
Christopher Reeves.
Yeah. You wanted obscure names. We're going not even wrestling.
Well, I'm going to punch him in the face because he's not going to fight back.
That's not the worst thing somebody said about Christopher Reeves on this show.
Sorry.
So we're all good.
It's true.
Mantar. Oh, who was the other one next to Mantar?
Doink.
Oh, Mantar, I team with, and Doink be a promo off, especially if it's Matt Bourne.
I said, which Doink are we getting here? You get like the multiverse of Doinks
because he was the most creative out of the Doinks. Ray Apollo was just it is what it is. Do we have any more? Is there any more in the chat?
Keep throwing out some obscure
that
stuff.
are not Christopher Reeves.
Well,
he's been a big topic on the show today.
Now
he has been. That's true.
We're hypothetically speaking. I'm going to be canceled for that.
Oh, don't worry.
Don't worry. The other guy wasn't, so you'll be okay.
Okay.
This
chat. I'm wearing my Eminem hoodie, so that hopefully will prevent me from being totally canceled as I make references to his music.
Yeah, people say we're crazier shit.
Fantasio, Ahmed Johnson, Papa Shango.
I'm gonna team with Ahmed Johnson because he's got guns. And these days, you never know. Someone could come and fucking try to ambush me at like a meet and greet or something. If Ahmed was sitting next to me, just fucking blow their brains out. Papa Shango, I would. The Magician, I don't know. Phantasmo, I team with it. No, I'm teaming with Ahmed.
Yeah, you're teaming with Ahmed.
The mime. I think he's a mime, so I'd promo off against him. I'm pretty sure he was also a mime magician. And that means I'd have to punch Papa Shango in the face, and then he'd probably make me vomit up some kind of disgusting
black goo. Yeah.
Black goo. Voodoo goo.
Last one of 90s 90s stars, sort of. Abe Knucklebar Schwartz, The Goon, and TL Hopper.
They could all go to hell. I don't want anything to do with those fucking guys.
There you go.
We did it. We did partner promo punch in the face enough times that we've officially pissed off Joey Janela. Let's go.
No, I'll never.
I know.
Good mood these days. Good vibes.
Eating lobster. Megan Bain's picking up victories. You got a lot of lobster coming your way.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, she's sitting next to me.
Oh.
She's pissed at me now because I've been sitting here parked next to a construction site while I did this interview.
Well, now I feel terrible that we've gone this long.
Yes.
It's not my fault. It's not your fault because her flight landed an hour early today, so I had to reschedule the interview. So blame it on the fucking pilot.
We can do that. Yeah.
But you know, you guys are there together now, so we should probably let you go and enjoy your day.
You're gonna choke me to death.
There are worse ways to spend a day.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not too bad, but
Joey, thanks for joining us. Let everybody know where they can maybe find you at, or maybe not find you at, because it doesn't work.
Type in Janela Baby on Twitter, word for word, with one L, not two, because even sometimes I do like a random indie promotion. They have like a Titantron set up, and I'll look back at it. My name, they'll still spell my name with two fucking L's. It's one L, you know. Janela Baby on Instagram, the bad boy Joey Janela. I'm losing followers constantly, so follow me on there. Maybe just bots. I don't know where they're getting sick of me, or they're just jealous of my life. Probably that one. I don't know. I'm on a bunch of other shit too. Blue Sky or whatever. I don't know what my name is there. If you type in Joey Janela, you'll find me on there. I'm on that woke app, but I don't really go on there. But sometimes I do when someone sends something to me. But I'm on that woke shit. But on there, and then I'm on everything else. TikTok I'm on. I don't really use. Maybe I should use it. Maybe
bigger than Roman Reigns on TikTok.
Does Roman Reigns have TikTok?
Yeah, he has TikTok. Yeah.
What does
he gives hair tips. He gives hair tips on TikTok. Are
you serious?
Yeah.
Who has more followers, Roman Reigns or the Costco?
The Costco guys?
Rhea Ripley.
Oh yeah, Rhea Ripley's the answer. Rhea Ripley has a ton of followers on TikTok. Roman Reigns has 3.4 million followers.
He probably has more.
Costco guys have
it's got to be in the tens.
You think so?
No, maybe less.
AJ has 2.6.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
There you go.
There's a whole debate. People don't believe me. I'm saying in the United States, the Costco guys are more recognizable than Roman Reigns to a normal person these days.
Oh,
and people think I'm crazy, and I'm like, no, I just live in the real world. I don't live in this. I know wrestling's a niche industry. There's a little bubble, And, you know, of course, like some wrestlers are mainstream, and Roman Reigns is one of them. But if you put the Costco guys and the Rizzler in a mall at the same time as Roman Reigns, and you tally up who gets more attention, who gets more pictures, it's going to be the Costco guys and the Rizzler.
Yep.
Hate to say it, man. They're just too over right now. And they're proving they have staying power too, which is we haven't seen this in a long time, because usually it's a cup of coffee and they're out of there. But these guys have staying power. They're smart. And I mean, I was at the Freehold Mall around Christmas time. It's a mall in Jersey. I don't know why I had to name it, but there was some random TikToker there. I had no idea who the fuck he was. He was some teenager. I think they were doing some pranks. He had a whole posse. And every kid in that mall, not even kid, everyone from kid to maybe 20 years old knew who this fucking guy was, and they were screaming shit at him from the thing and saying stuff to him, asking him for pictures. And I had no idea who the fuck this guy was. I said, imagine if it's the Costco guys and Rizzler in there. It'd be like Beatlemania. And then Roman Reigns, on the other hand, yeah, of course you'd get some attention, but not as much as those guys. Just wrestling, it's just not as mainstream as you think. But fans they're still gonna that you're an idiot because they're associated with it. Why is that not translated to ratings? Because no one knows he's on fucking TV wrestling.
Oh my God, honey, is that Jason Momoa over there? Basically what you'd be getting.
I mean, Roman Reigns, he would get certainly, like, I'm not, this is USA. I'm not saying anywhere else. You go to India, you go to anywhere else, you go to South America, wherever, Roman Reigns is getting mobbed.
Oh, I've told when Big Boom wrestled at Full Gear, I got 12 kids, and they were all like, "Wait, Big Boom, AJ from the Costco guys, is the Rizzler there? Big Justice is there?" They're texting their friends and everything. Like, that's all they cared about on this show. They didn't care about anything else.
I mean, I don't know why Tony hasn't pulled the trigger on him wrestling a big. I know he loves the, what do they call that? Just fucking hot-shotting those. Some matches.
We've pitched putting the trios titles on Big Justice, Big Boom, and Rizzler. Like, this should have happened months ago.
Yep.
I mean, it's got to lead to something. There's got to be some kind of angle. I don't care who it's with. Little build, give it 3 weeks, and then have a big blow-off main event on Dynamite, and people will be watching, I guarantee.
Yeah, you don't have to convince us. We're all about it.
I mean, I was talking to him before, like, right before AEW, I almost had him for, it was either Hammerstein or Spring Break. And I was talking to him, and then he was like, I'm doing something with AEW now. And I was like, oh, fuck. So I was going to wrestle him for myself. Because I'm a better carry job wrestler than QT Marshall. Well, Big Boom carried him through the match. QT didn't carry him through shit.
Yeah, Big Boom that's a 5-star wrestler right there.
I mean, I used to watch him wrestle when I was like 12 years old at indie shows in New Jersey. And he would leave an 8x10 of himself on every chair. So when you walked in, there was a AJ 8x10 on everything. His name was Power Child, Eric Justice. And he would have an 8x10. I probably still have his 8x10 on in my drawer in my mom's house.
That thing's worth something now.
But we were like, this guy is such a fucking tool, man. Like, he just posted his fucking, he's giving everyone his 8x10 so they can hold it up when he comes out. What a fucking arc. But
that's good. It's good business. That's good promotion.
I've talked to people that see his bank account, and that money never stops rolling in for those guys right now.
Can imagine. Good Lord.
Big Justice has enough money to retire on already, I heard.
Oh, yeah. Big Rizzler he can retire tomorrow. He's good.
Yeah. Rizzler lose 10 minutes for me, apparently.
Oh.
Yeah.
Make that a thing.
I've been trying to link up with these guys, and do a video. But who the fuck am I? You know, they're fucking with real superstars now. Like name, I don't know.
They did a video with Bill Alfonso. They did a video with Fonzie.
Fonzie didn't even know who he was. Someone just said, "Yo, Fonzie, this guy, the Rizzler, he's coming. They're gonna shoot with him in the park." And they're like, "We want you to be there to shoot something with him." I think that's CCW company. And Fonzie's like, "I don't know who he is, Daddy, but I'll go meet him."
It's a good Fonzie.
I looked at that video and I was like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
Here's the magic mushrooms.
I need the Rizzler though. I need to do a video with him.
Oh, that would roll.
Especially living 10 minutes from me. I don't know. We could do like a chicken wing review or some shit. I don't know.
Just do the faces. That's all you got to do. Just 5 minutes of doing the face. That's it. Look, that's $1 million.
Sick. The Rizzler's sick. I want to see where Rizzler is in high school.
You should do Rizzler and you reviewing just Popeye's chicken. It'd be great.
He probably loves it. I've seen him eat Popeye's chicken on his page before.
You gotta get him. You gotta make it happen. This is it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna manifest. We're gonna make it happen.
The Rizzler got injured at AEW.
How did the Rizzler get hurt?
From ringing the bell. He hurt his hand.
Oh no!
He hit it
the bell too hard, and then John Carlo was like the Rizzler's handler that day. I don't know why, but he had to get a little wrap and an ice pack. And he sent me a picture of Rizzler icing his hand. And he bashed it, like crying. He bashed the ring bell too hard. He got injured.
Poor kid.
I like that John Carlo was picked to be his handler for the day.
I think he just chose. He's like, when I get an opportunity, they're like, "Where's this kid's fucking parents?" Like the Rizzler was wandering around. Like he wasn't even with AJ Big Justy. He was just wandering, and he rang the bell too hard, and he was like legit, like in pain.
He's actually 108.
John Carlo sent a picture of the Rizzler, just like him and the Rizzler. The Rizzler just had big ass ice pack on his hand. Yeah, he was his first wrestling injury. That's why he's not showing up too much. The Rizzler's like, this life's not for me.
He's
tough.
Can't make the towns like Big Boom and Big AJ.
He's like, just bring me the fucking Popeyes.
Thank you for joining us today, Joey.
Yeah,
safe travels.
We went a little long today, but I made up for skipping you guys yesterday.
Hey, it's a bit at this point of whenever we schedule you, you don't show up that day, you show up the next day.
I'm not even a drunk anymore. I'm still fucking up.
No, you're all right.
You make it up to us. We appreciate it.
Sober Joe, still fucking up. All right, guys. Watch
Thanks, Joey.
Yeah, watch me wrestle with a torn bicep and cry. Bye.
He's gonna do it. There we go. I'm taking him off. There we go. Let him remove himself from the screen.
I don't know what that interview accomplished, but we went an hour. So
did we really go? Oh my god. Yeah. What happened to the show? Oh god. Jersey J Cup is this weekend. Go check it out. It's on Triller. If you can go live, it's in Jersey. Go to Jersey CW on Twitter.
I feel bad that Megan Bain was sitting there the whole time having to listen to that.
He waited 45 minutes to tell us that his girlfriend was it's like, what the fuck? And even we were just like, God, go spend time with your partner. And he's like, nah, it's cool.
So here's some behind the scenes stuff here. So Joey was supposed to join us yesterday, and it didn't happen. He didn't show up, as people know. And he messaged me just before. I can actually check the time of when he messaged me. So he messaged at like 9:59. He messages, and he's like, "Can we do it at noon?" So we hadn't gone on the air yet, and I was talking to you about this. I was like, "Do you want to do noon with Joey?" And you're fine with it. So my lovely wife and I were trying to plan like a dinner or a lunch, because with kids and trying to do like a Valentine's thing, it could be sometimes difficult. So we weren't going to be able to do anything like on Valentine's Day. So we're like, oh, we can go out to lunch one day this week, and we picked today. So we were going to go out to lunch at like 12 after the show today, And then before the show, we figured out that, we might actually be able to do dinner today instead of lunch. So had we set our lunch plans, I probably would have told Joey, yeah, I don't know if we can do noon today. Like, I actually got to leave at noon today. So I may have been able to cancel on him. But since we pushed back our lunch into a dinner, I was like, yeah, noon works. We can do that. And thank God that happened now, because if we'd have to finish up now, we'd have no time for lunch once everything starts going on.
When we were in the middle of that, my wife walked in just being like, "You done?" I'm just like, I got an interview. So I don't know what's going on.
Rules.
Oh,
Absolutely rules.
Listen, whenever Joey shows up, you know it's going to be something else. I mean, going right from the Rock John Cena talk into that, just fantastic.
He's told us the Rock and John Cena story before.
Yeah. I was like, this is deja vu. Yeah. But then we kept it going, which is always fun.
It's a funny story though. Like it's good. That
AEW Dynamite's tonight. AEW Dynamite was technically last night, but it's airing tonight.
Yes.
We should probably preview that. We actually, you know what? Sorry, before we do, I know everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, dude, doesn't want to talk about AEW." We actually did get a super chat earlier before Joey showed up. Like 3 minutes before Joey showed up, Ryan Adams sent a super chat saying, "Any chance CM Punk uses the favor to get into a Cody versus Cena match so that you can do Roman versus Seth one-on-one?" I don't hate that idea. That's something that I could reasonably see happening. Make Cody, Cena, Punk a triple threat, and then Roman, Seth one-on-one. There's story for all options on the table there. I like that.
I agree that it can happen. I don't know how much I think it'll be good if they build some tension with Roman and Heyman, because then if I'm Roman, I'm like, wait a second, you got this guy into this title match?
Why is he in the main event?
Yeah. So I think if that builds some tension between Heyman and Roman, you can do something with it. But otherwise, if I'm Roman, I'm like, get me into the title match now. Like, you did it for him. Like, don't put his needs over mine. Tell him to kick rocks on his favor. Tell him to ask for something else. He doesn't deserve this. So you can do something with that.
Yeah, and you can play off again. Punk, Cena, and Cody all having some sort of story together. Roman and Seth being involved with Punk as well, and with Cody in different ways. John Cena is basically caught in the middle, having history with all of these guys at different points in his career. Like, there are multiple stories to tell. The one caveat is Cena's only got 7 months after this, or 8 months after this. So some of the stories you might have to speed run, but the general consensus is you can make something of this. It'd be fun. I like the idea. It's something that I would definitely I'd be a fan of if they pulled the trigger on that.
Yeah.
Dynamite tonight, technically last night, but it's airing tonight on TBS and Max. Megan Bain, who we just didn't interview but was in the car during the interview we just did, she's going to be in her singles debut. We'll hear from Rated R superstar Cope, just Cope, not Adam Copeland, just Cope. Max Caster, Open Challenge is tonight again. Penelope Ford versus Chris Statlander. Commercial free MJF versus Dustin Rhodes.
Oh, okay.
That's nice. It's presented commercial free. No sponsor, just presented commercial free. What else is going on? The tag team titles are on the line. The Guns are going to face the Hurt Syndicates. And then in the main event, the trios titles are back. They exist. Death Riders are going to take on Adam Cole, Bay, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. That's your main event tonight. Looking like a good episode of Dynamite. Looking like a busy episode of Dynamite. Hopefully it's
Matthew,
a good lead-in.
I know the spoilers, so I don't want to say too much. Matthew Hooks was there. He's been mentioned in the chat that it's a good show. It looks like a good show from what I saw of the spoilers. It seems like they set up some good stuff, and they're doing Grand Slam this weekend. A little surprising, there's no Omega, Ospreay, Fletcher, and Takeshita on this show. I assume we'll get some type of video package with them, which would be good, but a little surprising that they are not part of the show, because for the most part, outside of a few people, Moxley and Cope, I'm trying to think of the Grand Slam card, but like Tony's not on this show, Mariah's not on the show, Mercedes and Harley on this show. I don't know if they flew out already, but I thought they taped Dynamite on Tuesday. I guess it's more of the production people and getting them over to Australia more than the talent. It seems like the talent might have already flown out because a lot of the Grand Slam talent aren't on the Dynamite show.
Yeah, that's the way it felt to me, was that they were going to tape on Tuesday to get people over to Australia quicker, whether that's talent or, in your case, you're mentioning production. So we'll just see where that lands. This is a good point, actually. Brendan mentioning Takeshita going straight from Japan.
Yeah, he was in Japan. Yeah.
So it's very possible that is why you didn't see that, or they'll run a package, or maybe they taped something last week that they're going to air as a backstage segment this week.
I was hoping it wouldn't have been possible, but Takeshita wrestled on Tuesday in Japan. He couldn't have made it to America, especially just for like one match to tape something. But he'll be wrestling on Japan for New Japan. There's a match airing with him this week from the Jericho Cruise. So he'll be wrestling on the Jericho Cruise. I know that was taped previously. And he'll be wrestling in Australia. 3 continents, I guess 2 continents, and then the ocean in 1 week on television. Who else has done that? That's why I was hoping he could go to America and do a match in America. Like 3 continents and an ocean in 1 week would be pretty absurd.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah. I don't think he's not going to be able to quite pull that off unless they get back from Australia he could do it on Monday. What can they air? He's going to show up to Raw. He's going to be a Raw on Monday.
Hell yeah.
In America.
Book it. Let's go. All right, let's get out of here. I got multitudes of things to do.
I'll sing on Friday or something. We'll get a song going on
there you
Friday.
Go. Sorry, Pointer Sisters can wait one more day. The 2 of them are already dead. What does it matter? You have anything to plug?
No, never.
Wonderful. We'll be back tomorrow. Well, I won't. SB3 and Jeremy will be back on Thursday. That's tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, talking about Dynamite and God knows what. I just assume nonsense. Just assume nonsense. There might be people who pop in. I don't know. We'll find out.
We're supposed to have some guests tomorrow. I'm not promoting anybody, but I think we have at least 2 lined up.
Well, we'll see who gets involved and who doesn't. And then after that, on Thursday evening, they'll promote it again, but the spotlight is on 6:30 p.m. Eastern now here on youtube.com/FightfulOverbooked. Leave a thumbs up on the way out. Subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you all. For Jeremy Lambert, I am at Joel Pearl, JoelPearl, or thejoelpearl.com on Blue Sky. Ladies, gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. See you in the next one.